Well, sorry it took me a little bit. I had to do like a thingy um for the collab tomorrow. So yeah. But hey. Oh shit. ちょっと待ってください. You can marvel at the necromancer in the meanwhile. I've been running the whole day without my water vapor machine, so I had to turn it back on. It's getting kind of dry. It's got ley lines, right? He's a necromancer, or she, I don't know. It's hard to determine a giraffe's gender. We have made funny giraffes. We had these ideas. We have necromancer. Should it be glow in the dark? Giraffic jam, swallow your pride, looking up to you. And in the end, here's giraffic jam. Here's necromancer. Here's looking up to you. Very cool. Here's looking down at you, or not down on you. And then there's you're a pain in the neck. These are like motivational stickers with like hateful air to them, or like just a funny kind of thing to them. And that's what we're gonna do today. Is we're gonna start line arting them. And if you guys want to send funny videos or anything like that at me, send them in Submit Funny, not in the waifu channel, but in the normie Submit Funny channel. So if there's some funny videos or something you would like me to watch, we can also watch those while we work. It's not really super serious. I can't even try Primordial Darkness today, as much as I would want to, because I haven't gotten a single trigger for it. Fuck. But yeah, so today is gonna be just a chill drawing day, with line arting these beautiful pictures of giraffes, and figuring out how to make them into stickers. Probably have like some kind of an effect to them with the coloring that will make them easier to print as stickers, I think. Is probably going to be the way to go with this. But yeah, we can start from here, and well, the goal obviously would be to get the line art done for all of these today, hopefully. But if we can't, that's fine, because we still have Saturday to do this too. But if we can get these done today, then on Saturday we will color them. And then probably Saturday after stream, I'll just order them. So yeah. The stickers will be 8 by 8 centimeters. So pretty big. At least to my understanding. 8 by 8. It's pretty big, right? So they're pretty big. Pretty big stickers. Yeah, that's about it. But before we get to this, let me tell you guys a story, because this is like a very Mae-mae kind of story. Depends on who you ask. Well, yeah, but they're pretty big stickers for like usually in conventions you get like stickers that are about like maybe 3 by 3. I'd say those are like the most common types of stickers that you get in conventions. So these are like double that, a little bit more than double that. So they're pretty big. I would say, at least. Also, hello there, Sorrow. It's been a while. Haven't seen you in a little bit. How's it going? I hope well. At least as well as it can be. But let me tell you guys a tale of Mae-mae at night. So. Here we have Mae-mae at night. Same old struggles. Well, at least, you know, there's no more new struggles, so that's something, you know. Gotta stay positive. My struggles right now are the fact that I want to do Primordial Darkness, but I can't. So here's nighttime Mae-mae. And she's hungry. So there's Grumbly. Grumbly and Tumbly. So yesterday I had just finished work and I was like, okay, I feel like I should, I feel like a present for being a good giraffe and doing my work and getting everything done, and I felt like rewarding myself, right? And I figured that I'm gonna make myself some popcorn, not the microwave kind, but the kettle popcorn kind, because the microwave kind is very greasy. I figured that just get the kettle stuff and do a little bit of a sprinkle of salt on them, and that's good, right? So I get the kettle that I know for a fact I've seen mom make popcorn with. And I get the popcorns and I pour them in. The kernels, they go in there. And I'm like, okay, great. The reason to, also a partial reason to why I don't get the microwave popcorn is because I somehow have like a superpower of always making them burn. So these guys go in, then the oil goes in. It looks like, I don't know, that looks kind of horny, but I guess oil would, it's like the lubricant. So oil goes in, and I made sure that the bottom of the pan was covered in the kernels. And I sort of rolled them around a little bit to make sure that they were properly oiled and everything was fine, right? And the instructions said to turn up the heat to the max until you start hearing popping. So 6 is the setting on our thingy. So I do as told. I put my popcornies in there. It starts going poppity pop pop, and I'm like, yes, grand. I wanted popcorn, so now I'm getting some popcorn. Great. And I shake the pan a little bit, and I'm like, okay, let's shake it a little bit, so that it because it said so in the instructions. And then I sit back down, and I just sit there and sort of watch it. And then, like, I had like a stove, like a little thingy on top of it. And there's like smoke starts coming out of it. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, no. And I'm like, okay, maybe it doesn't smell too burnt yet. So I probably didn't mess it up. But just in case, I'll put a little bit more oil. And I put a little bit more oil, and I use like a spatula to start shifting it around. And I see that some of the kernels are turning black. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Is this how they're supposed to look like? I don't make popcorn often. This was like the 3rd time in my life that I've ever made popcorn. And I was like, maybe when they pop, they turn back to normal color, right? That makes sense. They didn't pop. And now the popcorn that had popped started turning black too. And I'm like, oh no, I definitely messed something up. And I take it off the stove. And I look into the thingy. And it's still popping a little bit. And there's like a bunch of popcorn here. And then there's like these black spots on all of them. They're like covered in soot and shit. And I'm like, ah, fuck. I definitely fucked it up, didn't I? Oh boy, boy, did I fuck it up. I pour the popcorn out. And to my horror, I look at the bottom of the thingy. and it's covered in these black, like, scale-looking things, and the entire this side of it is, like, yellow. And there's, like, these black spots everywhere on the bottom of the pan, and I'm like, oh no, I burned it, didn't I? And I'm like, fine, okay, I guess no popcorn for Mae-mae. I'll just, I'm just gonna wash the pan, and I'll just, I don't know, cry myself to sleep, I guess. No. No. That's not how it works, okay? These black little specks that the bottom was covered in, I tried the dishwashing, or the detergent, pouring it on them and using the whatever this guy is called in English, the brush, and I was like, and nothing at all. The black spots were in perfect shape. There wasn't an atom of that stuff had left the bottom of it. Like, nothing had left it. And I'm like, wait, what is this? Why is it not leaving? Like, why is it still pitch black? And I'm like, oh no. Like, I've never burnt anything this badly. And then and the yellow stain that was covering the entire half of the thing, which was probably the oil that had burnt, it was not leaving either. And I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do here? So I look up online how to clean up, or how to get the burnt stuff off of a pan, or like a cooking pot, kettle. So it said to put in the ruokasoda. What is that in English? The baking soda. Baking soda. So I was like, okay, I'll take some baking soda, pour it in, and I put it there, and I just start rinsing again. Nope. Nothing is leaving. Not at all. Not at all. Like, there's nothing even remotely being, like, detaching from it. So Mae-mae is getting more and more panicked. I'm like, oh no, I destroyed the fucking good pan. People are gonna be so mad at me. And I take out I take out a knife, and I start scraping. It does actually get rid of the black stains, but there's like 1,000 of them on the bottom of it. And I'm like, oh no. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can find some iron wool, right? Iron wool, pata pata. That's the brand of iron wool here in Finland. I get some iron wool, and I start scraping like crazy. Nothing is leaving. Like, not at all. It still looks exactly like it did before. And I just slumped down on my chair and like, no, what the fuck did I do? And then after I started scrubbing like really, really hard by like pressing the iron wool against my fist against the bottom of the kettle and started like scrubbing with like the entire strength of my arm, which is not a lot, by the way. These are not muscles. This is just like bones and skin. And the yellow stuff started leaving, and I was like, wow. And I managed to get the yellow stuff off. But all the black stains were still there. The entire fucking bottom of the pan basically looked like the nearby galaxies with how many black little specks there were everywhere. Like this. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So, I'm like, I guess the only way to do this is by scraping them off with a knife. So, I take the kettle into my room. And for the next 5 hours, with the power of toothpaste and a knife and a 5-cent coin. I scrape the black stains off of the kettle for 2.5 hours. And I got it. I got it clean. But I didn't really feel like a winner afterward. Shit! I don't know what to... Like, I'm really bad in the kitchen. I'm really, really bad in the kitchen. Oh, fuck. I just wanted popcorn. I wanted to ask what is Mae-mae's cooking level skill. It's like when you start a game, if you want more skill points at the start, you can take skill points out of something else to balance it out. So like that was the cooking skill was the one that I had. Like I'm like a fucking anime character, like from like a harem series, who's like really good at some things and comes off like confident in public and has good social skills. But then when you put me in the kitchen, I'm like a fucking cave giraffe. I'm like completely helpless, and I genuinely bring you that like pot of bubbling purple shit with bones sticking out of it. Ugh. It was so fucking embarrassing. The next morning, Mom was just laughing at me. She was like, you know, there are secrets to making popcorn, but I've never seen anybody fuck it up this bad. It actually took me like 2 hours, and my hand, the other hand that I scraped everything with, was like the skin was like completely dried up, and it looked like shit, and like my fingernails still smell like soot, like burnt fucking kernels, and my entire jacket smells like smoke. Or like this woolly coat that I have often, it smells like smoke. It smells like burnt popcorn. It's like there to remind me of the shame of failing this fucking task. Turn off. What? Shit. Nobody told me that. Fuck. I didn't know that. I thought that you just keep the heat maxed out. So yeah. That's my popcorn story. Yeah, no, I don't make popcorn. I don't make popcorn. I just really wanted something to snack on at night, because I'm gluten free, so I can't eat like most of the bread that we have here, and I really wasn't feeling like eating nakkileipä. Yeah, no, I didn't turn down the heat. It stayed at 6 throughout the entire ordeal. Yeah. I'm like, generally speaking, I cook everything at 6. Okay. That's my standard setting. Like, the only thing that I don't cook at 6 is rice. I don't cook rice at 6, but everything else I basically cook at 6. That's the only thing I know how to do. Yeah. I'm not a very kitchen or like. I can make a pizza. I can make a pretty good gluten-free pizza. Okay. But that doesn't go on the stove. It goes into the oven. And putting things in the oven is something that I do actually know how to do But yeah. So there's my popcorn story. Mae-mae drives car only flat out at 6th gear. You know, sometimes it do be like that. It do be like that. So yeah. But if you ever feel bad about, like, you know, being bad at something or being good at something, or seeing someone, like, if you ever look at like my art and feel like, oh shit, Mae-mae is so fucking good, I wish I was as good as Mae-mae, you can probably find solace in the fact that I'm really shit at some things. Fuck. Anyway, let's draw some giraffes. Let's start from here, and then we could take a break in 30 minutes to watch some funny videos. And maybe I can check on PSO2 to see if I get any good triggers as well. I remember you blowing up the the cooking stuff. Shut up! We don't talk about that. There was no need for the fire department. No, there was none. She might actually do that since she only drives in her nightmares off of cliffs. This is true. This is true. I'm not a good driver in my dreams either. That's why I don't have a license in real life, because I fear that my dream Mae-mae might be like a precursor of what my reality is. But yeah, because of that, my hand actually kind of hurts. I've been scraping the black gunk off of my off of the pan for the entirety of yesterday after a long day of doing nothing but drawing. So the muscles in my forearm are a little bit strained. So if I'm drawing a little bit slowly today, please forgive and forgore. But yeah, it was kind of it was a wild time, I guess. I'll take you practice driving. No, don't. Please don't. I'll just use public transportation. Speaking, besides, like, people should be using public transit in the first place. It's better for the environment. In an empty parking lot. I don't know. I'll let you drive from Konos to Desicon. Don't. We won't be making it to Desicon at that with that. But yeah, that's what's been going on in my life. Sort of having like gluten-free snacks is a little bit hard. Gluten-free cookies are kind of bad, to be honest. I haven't really enjoyed them much at all. Potato chips I can still eat, but I don't want to eat potato chips all the time. But I can't eat Pringles, because Pringles also has wheat flour in it. And Pringles was originally my like sort of safe space, because they're less oily than your everyday potato chips. So yeah. My friend's grandpa used to drive mostly on first gear because he thought it used less gas. I mean, I feel like it's very easy to get sort of sidetracked if you try to make sense of situations that you can't quite comprehend. Like, for example, I believe that there are some kind of like secret mechanics to fishing in Final Fantasy XIV. Like, there's some kind of desire sensor that has been built into it or something like that it checks if you have a title, or if you're close to getting a title, then it like makes the next fish that you need for it like super hard to get. So yeah. But that's because I don't have the relevant information. Because there's no relevant information available. And for a grandpa who probably doesn't know how to internet, they have no way to access the internet for information. And even less likely they speak English well enough to understand, like, because if you search for stuff in Finnish, there's a high likelihood that very niche topics don't come up. So you can't find information like that online very easily. But if you know English and stuff, it's easier to find like stupid topics like that online. Yeah, Yoshi P is personally inhibiting Mae-mae from getting the title. That's what I have been, like, I've been dreaming of going, when we go to Japan, maybe we'll see Yoshi P and he's about to get isekai'd and then I save him. And then he's like so thankful to me that he grants me one Final Fantasy XIV related wish. And I will ask him to reveal all the secrets to fishing to me. And then I'll be the fishing god. I finally get my 400. Holy shit, that is expensive. No wonder the fucking ice hockey players are so rich. One came to offer me €1,000 for ass one time. On Instagram. And I was like, how the fuck do you have this much money? And they were like, I'm a hockey player. And I was like, oh, maybe they were a pelican. I don't know. I don't know if pelicans are into giraffes. Needless to say, I refused him. I don't really do ask for money. It was such a weird thing too, because like, I mean, it was really flattering because I had over the years I had received a lot of like girlfriend or boyfriend applications. Boyfriend applications, I guess, would be the correct way when it's a dude. Online, but that was in like Fur Affinity and stuff like that. Maybe DeviantArt, I don't remember. And that was purely based on like whatever my fursona. Well, I didn't really have a fursona, but whatever my characters looked like. So they were like, oh yeah, you must definitely be like a big tittied cat girl in real life too, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, of course. But that was the first time anybody had ever sent me like horny posting based on my real self. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. I you know, I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm not interested. Thank you very much though. And then I bragged about it to everyone. And I still do to this day, because that's the only time anyone has ever asked me something horny. Teemu Selänen offered Mae-mae €1,000 for ass. I don't know if the... Let me actually check my Instagram. I wonder if the conversation is still here. I wonder how... Because I remember that they like deleted their account or something. Inactive user. Oh no, Instagram user. No, that's a different one. No, I think because they're deleted, they don't... Oh, no, here it is. But because they deleted their account, it doesn't say... It doesn't say who they are. It just says Instagram user. Moro, kiinnostaisiko helppo raha? Hello, would you be interested in some easy money? Heipparallaa. Ai mitä, tilaustyötä tai jotain? Hello. What do you mean? Commission or something? Ehkä enemmänkin henkkoht. Paljon pyytäisit perseestä. Maksaisin kyllä tosi hyvin. Maybe something a little bit more personal. How much would you ask for ass? I would pay really well. Olen otettu, mutta minä valitettavasti varattu ja partnerien pettäminen ei kuulu minun kinkkilistaan. I'm sorry, but I'm taken, and cheating on my partners isn't on my kinks list. And he continues insisting. No mutta on ihan tosissani, maksaisin hyvin. I'm really serious, I would pay you really well. Yeah, I'm sorry, this is... juu, valitan. Tää on mulle enemmän periaate kuin rahakysymys. En voi kun toivottaa onnea matkaa muualla. Kyllä sitä peppua varmasti jostain löytyy, vaikkei just täältä löytyiskään. Yeah, I'm sorry, this is more a matter of principle than money to me. I can't help but wish you best of luck on your journey somewhere else. I'm sure you'll find ass somewhere else, even if not here. 1,000 euro? 1,000 euroa? Sorry, I'm not interested no matter how much you'd pay. Sorry, en oo kiinnostunut vaikka maksasit kuinka paljon. Okay. I'm sorry, but good luck on your journey. And he replies, okay. And then the next year, in January, I get another message from them saying, "You still not interested in money?" And I'm just like, nope, I'm good. Tonnin seteli. Yeah, right? It was very flattering though, and I keep bragging about it to everybody, that some ice hockey dude was offering me 1,000 euro for ass. So yeah. I had been offered money for sex. It was because I was posting some of my cosplay pictures on Instagram. I got it like instantly after that. It was the Felix stuff, which I feel was always the most popular. I did a pretty good Felix cosplay, if I say so myself. Man was down, man, right? You know, I don't know if Sorrow is still here, but like at least in my sort of experience as a trans person, I always had like this dream, like something that I've always felt really bitter about was the fact that I lost the youth of being adored by horny dudes, and like I was very shallow. I I admit it. But the sort of adoration that comes with being pretty or being cute was something that I always held in great value. And having that one chance to experience that, it felt pretty good, even though it was kind of creepy. So I don't really hold the horny ice hockey man in like bad favor. It's my bragging story that Mae-mae was so fucking hot that Mae-mae was offered 1,000 euro for ass. You know? That's pretty good. Well done, Mae-mae. I would have been such a fucking bimbo if I had been born a girl, I bet. Maybe it's better than I was. Fuck. Ugh. But yeah. I don't know if having just Instagram user as your profile, it means that you just have like a privated profile, or if it means that you've just deleted your profile and just in another time. Yes, exactly. Mae-mae was hot shit in that timeline. But in this timeline, Mae-mae is instead drawing giraffe. But yeah, it was very flattering. I'm a very I don't know how to really word it, but I'm not really one of those people who take like personal offense to people like fetishizing me or being kind of weird about it. I guess because I've been in such circles for so long that I take it as a compliment if people find me appealing in one way or another, as long as they're not creepy about it, you know. There is such a thing as like that parasocial kind of adoration that gets really unhealthy. I had this one, I think it was like a Russian dude who was like in the closet about being trans, because in Russia it's not okay to be trans at all, and they sort of fell in love with my aggressively open personality, and then they started like sort of like, how should I even put it, like pushing for like a romance super hard. And then when I started like pushing back, because like giving some pushback because I wasn't interested, I don't really believe in love at first sight. I don't sort of believe in these like flash romances. I usually need to know a person for like at least a year before I can get like any kind of romantic emotions towards someone. And they got super depressed over it and super angry, and they started like calling me names, and like it was like one of those nice guys kind of things, because I wasn't interested in their romantic advances. And then they just blocked me on social media and stuff like that. So those kinds of people are really like people who sort of inject their own fantasies onto you as a person. Those are kind of weird. They make you feel really awkward. I feel like no matter who you are, people like that would make you feel a little bit awkward, because it's clear that they're not really interested in you, but they're interested in a fantasy of you in their head. And if you don't fulfill that fantasy, then they're not actually interested in you at all. They have like crafted this persona of you in their head, and they want you to act it out for them. So it sort of makes you feel like you're just like an entertainment to them, which can be really devastating mentally, I feel. So yeah, I don't really get into that kind of shit myself. That's like I feel like that's a parasocial relationship in a nutshell. Like the whole drama recently with the people who used deep fake to superimpose the faces of famous streamers on the faces of porn actresses or something like that. And that's like you're forcing your fantasy onto a person who you didn't really get the permission from. It's a lot more it's like a much more personal attack to the person than, for example, drawing creepy fan art that you keep to yourself or post on your Twitter, and you just like, you know, do your own thing, like Jacksepticeye jerking off Markiplier or something like that. I don't know. Even though that's kind of creepy too. There's like a line that you shouldn't cross with that kind of stuff. And I've heard a lot of VTubers, for example, as well, speaking about this. Because some people do, like, for example, like fan art of VTubers that the VTubers might not be okay with. And with these kinds of subject matters, I feel like it's really important that there's a sense of like understanding. Like you can't just do whatever you feel like in the internet, I guess. That's sort of the rule of thumb when it comes down to parasocial stuff. Is like, if you look at yourself objectively, if somebody started making like weird fetish, like somebody you don't know at all started suddenly making weird fetish art of you without your knowledge, without your permission, and without your consent, would that make you feel awkward about it? Probably. So that's not cool. But if somebody literally comes to ask you, hey, I would like some ass, would you be willing to provide ass? And I'm like, no. And they're like, okay. I feel like, while that is really desperate and kind of funny, and really socially awkward, if nothing else, it's not necessarily doing anyone any harm. Although obviously the situation can be like awkward for the person who has to say no, and some people have issues with saying no in the first place. But in my personal experience, I have no problem being a little bit blunt with people online at all. So from my perspective, it is completely okay to do something like that. How about now? That would be fucking funny. But yeah. So yeah. In terms of like stuff like fan art and whatever, I sort of detach myself as the person from the character, even though the character is also a Mae-mae. The concept of a Mae-mae is very broad, and my VTuber persona is just one aspect of the Mae-mae-dom that one can have in their life. And because of that, I have no issue with people making fan art of me that I personally might not be into, or fan art that fetishizes me or whatever. I don't really have an issue with that because I'm not an anime character in real life, so I don't really find it bothersome. But obviously, if somebody started drawing weird porn of me in real life, that would probably be kind of creepy. But yeah, it do be like that sometimes. That concludes Mae-mae's discussion on weird online encounters. Thank you very much for joining me today. Let's move on to the next topic. According to wise and handsome Putin, there's no gay people in Russia. Of course not. I guess Hogwarts game is banned in Russia. I wouldn't be surprised. That's why idols will immediately have to graduate when their boyfriends or roommates or whoever calls them suddenly. Yeah, that's like a human rights violation. That's fucking creepy as hell. What about editing Sanna Marin on? Yeah, that's fucking awful. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, seriously. No, don't do that. That's creepy as hell. Sanna Marin isn't a fictional character. Sanna Marin is a real person. You don't do that. I'm an anime giraffe. It's okay to draw porn of me, and I give explicit consent to it. But Sanna Marin is not an anime giraffe. It would be cooler if she was, but no. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, seriously, get a life. There's so many things to jerk off to online. Why do you really need to jerk off to Sanna Marin? That's my real question, I guess. I've seen some deep... What? God, people are fucking sad. I don't understand. I don't understand that at all. How about the ones where she's edited to be warning about UFOs? I mean, that's just funny memes. Go ahead. That has no, like effect on her public image or anything like that in the same magnitude that, because, like, there's a lot of fucking stupid people, especially the internet. If you guys, this might come off as a surprise to some of you guys, but there are really fucking stupid people online. Like insanely, just like troglodyte level stupid people online. And some people don't know what a deep fake is, and they might think that it's real. So yeah. And then because they're stupid, they're also probably loud. So they're gonna start like a huge hulabaloo because of that. About like, oh, Sanna Marin is fucking movement troll. And that's not cool. Like, stop being like that fucking degenerate. She's a like, why? She's a politician. Why would any fuck, I don't know if it's the hormones or what, but like, I find that to be super fucking pathetic. I don't know if I'm the one who's weird, but like, why? Like, I don't know. It's just like reeks of like this pathetic like if I can't have Sanna Marin, I can at least have deepfake Sanna Marin. Fucking this dude who kind of looks like me, so I can imagine fucking Sanna Marin. Like, how fucking pathetic do you have to be to think like that? Like, that's like such like cartoony levels of pathetic evil that it's like, are there actually people who are this fucking shitty? It's really weird. It's really weird to me, the whole deep fake shit. It's like these like streamers, like many of them never even did anything sexual, but people are still making deep fakes of them. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it's the sort of rule as is with anime, where in anime it's actually, if there's like a really horny anime series, there's a lot less horny fan art and doujins and stuff like that of it. And I guess it's because the source material doesn't provide that horny as it is, so the fandom has to create it instead. Maybe the reason to why there's not a lot of horny fan art of me is because I have massive titties on the bottom if I want to. Or maybe it's because I sound like a dude. Probably the latter. But you know. Or maybe it's just because there's a lot of like social justice drama about fetishizing trans people. So people don't have the courage to fetishize me because I'm transgender, because they fear that they're gonna get cancelled on Twitter. Which is kind of cringe. It's okay to fetishize men and it's okay to fetishize women. I don't understand why it's not okay to fetishize trans people. Sometimes romance starts from fetishes. And in a lot of cases, it actually does. Like, if you fall in love with someone because they have big titties, it starts because you objectified them in a fetish. Or like, you objectified the person on their titties, and then maybe you actually start getting along with them, and then you fall in love with the rest of the body as well, hopefully. Marmar isn't super lootable. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm sexy as hell. Shit. God damn, what an awful thing to say to an innocent, sexy woman like myself. God damn. My feelings. They have been crushed. Marmar is to say so. What do you mean? I draw so much porn though. What? Like, I remember I was like featured on like a VTuber say-so-ness tier list, and I was like S-tier say-so, and I don't understand how. I draw so much like really fucking weird porn. Just today I posted like a picture of like a massive dong on my Twitter. How do people think I'm wholesome? Is it because I'm so like open about talking it, and because of that it has like normalized because I'm not kind of weirdly slimy and creepy about my porn, it like makes it somehow like not weird and slimy. And because of that, people perceive me as like this wholesome person who just happens to draw massive dongs. I've had pizza with farmers, I can't loot her. True. No, that's true. If you have pizza with a person, it's hard to loot them. That is like a rule of nature. Also, yeah, so your sleep schedule is a fucking joke. Seriously? Holy shit. Maybe get yourself back in order. Also, send me your waifus, you fuckfaces. Especially you, Sorrow. I bet you have some husbandos or waifus. Share them. Share them right now. Nobody has sent me their waifus yet. Why is nobody sending me their waifus? What the fuck is wrong with people? One also promised to send me waifus. Amiko already sent waifus, and Mightis also sent waifus. Yeah. Look at the Discords. Wait, are you not on my Discord server? Wait. Sorrow. Oh, no, you are. There was an @everyone. And Val too. Val, you have revealed thyself. So share your waifus and husbandos. I remember we did like a waifu something back in the day too, and I remember seeing some of your waifus there too, Mighties. The waifus can be OCs too, by the way. Where's the piece? No, Sorrow. Reveal thy waifus right now. Do it. Share. My husbando, I think I talked about this before, is whatchamacallit, Takeru Ichimonji from Boku Girl. He's like the ultimate bro. And he's like the first dude that I've ever had a crush on in a comic. Because he's so, like, nice. He's such a, like, fucking bro. Like, he's honest about being horny for the MC. But he's willing to set his horniness aside for the well-being of the MC. And that really touched me. Which is such a rare feat in anime characters or manga characters. But we can talk about more about that tomorrow. I wouldn't necessarily call like because I really fucking love cross-dressing boys. But I wouldn't call them waifus because I don't really want to romance them or have anything in that sort of to do with them. It's more like I would want to be them. And that's basically it. So I wouldn't necessarily call them waifus in my case. I wish I had someone telling me what I need to add on mine. Oh, on your waifu list? Let's see here. These guys. Don't you also really like the octopus girl, Inanis? I think she would maybe probably be there. And like and the Lalafell princess from Final Fantasy 14. Those would definitely be like at least once. Okay, there you go. Okay, there's Bayonetta as well. But yeah, we'll see what kind of funny replies and stuff we get for tomorrow. And Sorrow, you better fucking send me your waifus or husbandos. Please, Gib. Can I just like a design? If you just like really like a character, that's okay. It doesn't mean that you want to fuck them or anything like that. For me, like characters like Felix and Astolfo and whatever, they're more like spirit animals than waifus. Let me finish the line art for the top, and then we will watch some funny videos and check on PSO2 real quick. Fuck my secrets. No, share your secrets right now. Don't worry about it. It's a no judgment zone. We'll just make a little bit of fun of you for it. I could fuck all of my life. I'm sure you could, Mike. I'm sure you could. But yeah, share thy waifus, Sorrow. It's tomorrow's stream is pretty funny, relaxed, light roasting, and tickling of butts. Should be pretty fun, but I need more submissions. No, you fucking give it to me right now. Right now. You ain't getting shit for it. Well, your payment will be in the form of a delightful roasting. Don't worry, it might awaken something in you. You're just afraid that by revealing your waifus or husbandos, it's gonna reveal the fact that you're actually like a bottom or something like that. You're always acting all tough and demon queeny, but what if you're actually submissive? That's probably what you're afraid of revealing. But look at this here. Look at Mightis right here. Mightis, all of Mightis's waifus are like tall, dominant women. So it's very obvious that he's definitely the bottom in these relationships. God damn it, Arcade, that's pretty horny. I don't know about that one. In a hockey match tomorrow, so don't analyze my waifus first. Okay, no worries. Thank you for informing me in advance. But please send me your waifus. It's more the merrier. And also there's like a funny added incentive. If I get more than 15 submissions, then Bear is going to commission me to draw his character wearing the outfit of the most popular waifu that we will vote on during the stream. So if you want to see his character wearing something funny or something cross-dressy maybe, please send me your waifus. Send me thy waifus. It's good content. You don't have to be in the stream tomorrow if you can't make it. That's totally fine. But it just would make our job of content a lot easier. if we get a lot of submissions. So I would really appreciate it. Oh, how Mae-mae wanting me to give it to you. Yes, give me your fucking waifus right now. You're not gonna get me with these baby school provocations. I probably have seen and drawn much weirder shit than you could even dream of. There's no, you're the little girl in this fucking court, okay? So show me your innocent little say-so waifus. There we go. Give like a bluff. There we go. Oh, what a powerful creature this is. And yes, Val too. I look forward to seeing your waifus. They're probably gonna be some obscure characters from like PlayStation 1 games I've never heard of. I look forward to seeing Val's waifus or husbandos. Close enough. And keep in mind, you can also DM the waifus to me. You don't have to put them in the waifu channel. You can DM them to me. That way they will be kept secret until tomorrow. Yeah, if you don't mind, then post them in the public one as well. Obviously, you might even find some waifu friends who share your waifus. But I don't know if Bear has done a lot of like quote-unquote formal collabs on his channel, so I think it would be nice if I could make it somehow a little bit more special to him, to get a lot of things to talk about and stuff like that. This doesn't make any sense. This should be behind the stupid hair thing. Speaking of stupid hair things, the reason to why I draw a lot of my characters with these like sort of side bangs that are on the sides of their head is because a lot of my old drawing style was inspired by Rumiko Takahashi, the artist who made Ranma and Inuyasha and stuff like that. It was the first, Ranma half was the first manga that I ever read, and the characters in those often have these funny things, even though they don't really make any sense as hair. And when I was watching the remake of Urusei Yatsura, I was really happy to see the stupid hair things. I think Lum has them. Let me check this just to make sure that I'm not spewing smoke out of my ass. Lum Urusei Yatsura. Yeah, she does. She does have them. The stupid thingies. Look at this girl. She's adorable. And she has the stupid things. And very similar hair to how I draw it, where it's like a simple blob over the forehead, and then there's the side bangs. Because this is what inspired a lot of my drawing stuff originally. Not Urusei Yatsura specifically. This is the first time I'm actually watching it. I've really been enjoying the modernization version of Urusei Yatsura. Really fucking pretty and funny anime if you want something like just completely brainless. Really, really good. Maybe others will get courage boosts since I sacrificed myself. Yes, exactly. Let's see. Sorrow sent. No. Sorrow. Where are thine waifus? Or husbandos? Or both? Both is good too. I wonder if I have any female waifus. There are like princely. Biatch, I'm looking. Who's first? I have enjoyed some like prince, like the Oji-sama characters in Yuri. The like princely type of girls, but nobody really stands out. To me specifically as like a standout character. Look at this derpy looking idiot. Very good. The other eye is way too high up. There we go. Now those are some focused eyes. The way I draw eyebrows is also from Rumiko Takahashi. She just draws them as lines. Oh, did my software crash? Yeah, it did. Okay, well, this is a perfect chance to watch some funny videos, and let me do something real quick. Do it more like this. This way I can chat with you guys while this thing is doing its thing. But yeah, Urusei Yatsura has really been keeping me sort of upbeat, despite having like I'm having this like what is like Laskuhumala is what I called it earlier. Is like last week I was super like hyped and full of energy because I was I had a lot of work to do and I was really excited to sort of get everything done, and now I'm in the like downfall state of the mental state of being like super hyped to get everything done. Is like, oh no, I wonder if I'm gonna sell. Oh no, I wonder if I'm gonna get cancelled on Twitter for my weird porn that I'm gonna sell. Oh no, like how am I gonna, like, I don't really know what to do right now. I should be working, I guess, and I really don't feel like it. I've been having this real weird sort of midlife crisis with my art recently. There we go. Just a second. We're not gonna be playing PSO2. I just need to get check on the gachas. There doesn't. You can even have just one waifu. That's okay too. You don't have to have multiple ones. You can have multiple ones if you can't decide, or if you just have a lot of waifus that you like, but you don't have to. So don't worry about it. Also, we're not gonna be doing Primordial Darkness. Don't worry about it. There's just like the triggers for the quests, like Primordial Darkness, are random, and they reset at 10 p.m. finish time every week or every day. So I need to check if I can get another primal trigger. Probably the earliest I'm gonna do Primordial Darkness is the weekend. I would also not call my own, like, these 4 core characters my waifus, because they're more like, I wish I was this. Endless belligerence, profound darkness. We need that. Underground nightmare. We don't need that. Requiem. No, those are not good. Shit. Crimson Evil Dragon. No. It's not what we want either. I don't know if... I guess I should. This is the last one. Prime... Yes, please! That was a good reset. Holy shit. Okay. Okay. That's good. Oh, 3 of them. Very nice. If I don't fuck everything up, I should be able to push through in 3 triggers. I don't promise anything. But at least I don't need to like be super like crazy hamstering for them anymore. That was a good pool. That was a good pool of Primordial Darknesses. But don't worry, we're not gonna do Primordial Darkness today. I know it's not super interesting. The viewer counts for the Primo runs have been really, really bad. It's usually like 2 people watching, and I can totally understand. You don't understand anything about the game. The run is really, really, really long, and it's really disappointing when I keep failing it all the time. It's just so fucking hard. I know that my viewer base isn't really into like hardcore gaming, quote unquote. So I get that you guys aren't super into it. It's fine. But I also don't want to do it right now because I sort of am mentally not in the right place for that right now. I'm not ready for that level of stress right now. We're gonna do them probably on the weekend. I would think, yes. But we got some good primo triggers, so that's good. And I promised to watch some funny videos, so let's do that. I wanted to do Fantasy Life OST because there was a Nintendo Direct, and they said that there's a new Fantasy Life game coming out, and I really enjoyed the first one. It was like it's like a life sim sort of, just kind of do everything kind of game. It's very relaxing, and I really enjoyed it. But oh shit, Charlie had a meltdown. I'm gonna look. I need to look at that later. Don't worry, we're not gonna watch it right now. That sounds like some juicy ass drama. There we go. Okay, now that's looking better. Yeah, so very good, very good. And oh, okay, so I actually know 2 of these characters, but I have no idea who this vampire-looking girl is, Val. I'm glad you didn't disappoint with the obscure characters. Very good. Very good. Can you enlighten me on the name of the character? What is her name, so that I can remember to sort of do some like insider information. Also, don't worry about my search history. I'm not depressed or anything. I've just been watching a lot of YouTube drama while I've been doing work. There's something about me that when I draw, I like to watch videos of like really serious topics, and like what is it called? True crime. True crime has been something that I've been watching a lot, or listening to, I guess, a lot when I've been working on my webcomic. But I'm not feeling bad or anything. Don't worry about it. I'm totally okay. So yeah. But let's look at some funny videos that we have in Submit Funny. If you have any videos that you would like to send me, let me know. So here we have, which magic color are you in Magic the Gathering?
There are 5 colors in Magic the Gathering: blue, black, white, green, and red.
Okay.
All right, so if you look at each color, they all have their own values and cards that relate to each one of those values, as you can see here. Now let's look at what each one of those values means deeper and how it relates to the cards they play,
okay.
Starting with white. All right, so white is all about morality and order.
Yes.
Which is a little odd considering that they are the most useless color in all of Magic the
I
Gathering.
mean, you know.
You see, while every other color has a game plan, white is all about maintaining order and yet has no game plan whatsoever, which I just think is a little odd. All right, so basically, let's look at what white can do really well. White is really good at board wipes. It can completely remove all creatures from the battlefield better than any other color. Oh wait, every other color can do that, so it's not really unique to white in any way whatsoever. All right, but let's move on here. Maybe there's something better. White can do life gain better than any other color, which is also the most useless mechanic in Magic the Gathering. Anyways, it can do life gain better. Oh,
not necessarily. Life gain is pretty powerful in Commander.
Wait. Look at the other colors can do life gain.
But yes, this is true. It's not exclusive to white at all. I actually have this motherfucker in my deck, in my Artifacts of Life, and it is a beast. I've won so many games because of this lunatic thing.
Too. And also colorless can do it too, meaning that it's not specific to white, and white has no identity. Anyways, white is really good at removing enchantments. If you look at all of these, it can destroy enchantments.
Green can do that
like
too.
Nobody's business. Or artifacts too. Oh, wait, hey, look, these other colors can do that as well.
I thought
it can also exile permanents. All right.
That's something
this one I will give some credit to, as the other colors are not good at exiling permanents, but everything else I stand by.
Swords to Plowshares and Path to Exile. Those are like the best on-point destructions, or exile destructions in the game, which is good.
I completely stand by. All right, let's look at the weaknesses of white. It's not good at drawing cards.
True.
Literally colorless, which every color can use, is better at drawing cards.
It is.
So yeah, it just sucks. Also, it's bad at winning the game.
Pretty
much useless all around. So yeah, don't play white. Let's go and throw that in the trash real quick. All right, now on to blue. Blue is all about logic and technology, which is a little ironic considering they are the dumbest players in all of Magic the Gathering.
I mean,
so
you know.
See here is the average IQ. Here's the blue player's self-image of himself.
Okay,
however,
yeah, this is pretty accurate. This is pretty accurate. I don't know if they actually have 100 IQ. That's
blue players actually have an IQ of around room temperature
in
Celsius. All right. So while you remember, white is useless, and blue hates fun. Let's look at the strengths of blue. All right, they're good at drawing cards. Every other color has to go through some kind of loop if they do want to draw cards, but blue does not have to. They're the only color that can just straight up draw cards, except for a little bit of green. They're also pretty good at reactive cards. These cards can be played at instant speed and can pretty much stop your opponent's plans. And that's where I would continue on from here, and that's what it's supposed to be, but it's not. Because all they do is they just counter everything they'll sing, everything you play, it's countered. All right, so let's say you want to play a big, cool creature, countered. You want to play lightning bolt, countered. You want to play a really cool angel, countered. You don't get to play it. You want to play murder, countered. And you say, okay, I know how to deal with this. I'll just counter it. And then they counter it back. All right, let's look at the weaknesses.
True. Dobbin's veto for the win.
Blue. They're really bad at making friends, being loved.
Yes.
Morality.
Yes.
And understanding the word fun.
True.
All right.
You know, I can totally agree with this. The epitome of not fun in a blue game is called Cyclonic Rift. It's just like it's like a mid to late game thing where like one player is finally about to win and they've done their best and they're like, yes, this is my chance to do my combo and I'm gonna destroy everybody on the board. And then there's this one motherfucker who's like, hey, I have Cyclonic Rift, and every single creature, every single permanent, everything on the field except for that guy's cards is pulled back into the user's hands. So everything resets back to 0 except for this one player. It's like the ultimate no you of Magic the Gathering, which is why Cyclonic Rift is one of the most hated cards in the game. I have it in my deck, by the way, in my Artifacts of Life, because I'm a shitlord. But I will admit to the fact that I'm a shitlord for putting it there.
Remember, white may suck and is completely useless. However, at the same time, you should keep in mind it has more friends than blue. I just think you should keep that in mind for how bad blue is. All right, now let's go into black. Black is all about amorality and parasitism. So at least you know they're fun at parties, all right? When a white player looks at a little bunny, they say, nature is a beautiful gift of God. They're so thankful for it. When a blue player looks at a bunny, they say, I should study the bunny to learn more about it. But when a black player looks at a bunny, they say, I should skin that thing alive and see what kind of sound it makes for my own enjoyment. Black is all about death and taking away everything dear from everything they love. All right, let's look at the strengths of black. It's good at killing.
True.
So it has a bunch of cards that can just immediately remove creature cards as well as planeswalkers as well. And it's very efficient at doing so. It's also good at killing your friends. So if you want to sacrifice your friends and get something out of it, they're very good at selling out their friends. It's extremely profitable for them, I guess. They're also good at preemptive killing, which is making other people discard cards in their hand so they can't even play them. All right. And they're also good at killing themselves.
Yes.
They can pay life to do pretty much anything in the game, which is very useful.
It is.
And they're also good at reviving their friends with the power of friendship.
Yes.
Just kidding. They're good at reanimating dead people. Look at all that. All right, anyways.
You know, it depends on how you look at it. You could say that necromancing, like look at this necromancer right here. I'd say that there's definitely some power of friendship to this neck right here. I'd say that there's necromancing. There could be powers of friendship involved with necromancy as well, I think. Like, look at this giraffe, how happy she is. Very good.
What are their weaknesses? Their weaknesses
Patterns of skulls, yeah.
Morality with a serious tone. It's very much moral. But I would like you to keep in mind, black is known for killing its friends, but it has more friends than blue players.
Yes.
You should keep.
Everybody has more friends than blue players. We're watching funny videos and drawing funny giraffes.
Keep that in mind. I just hate blue. All right, anyways, red. Red is all about impulse and chaos.
I have never seen a person who is like, I love red in Magic the Gathering Commander. I have never seen a person who does that.
When red looks at the bunny, it says, I am the bunny. I am speed.
Oh, they're
speed.
furries.
Red is all about now. We got to go fast, got to go quick. NASCAR, red, cheetahs, big rocks. What do all of these things have in common, and what are they all good at? They're good at killing people really quickly. All right, let's look at the strengths of red. Damage. Red has all of the cards that can do straight damage, just pure, unfiltered damage straight to your opponent's face. All right,
Indeed.
Haste. Red is really good at putting out creatures that can just immediately
Green does
get
that
value
too these
real
days,
quickly, super fast, non-stop action. Artifact removal. I guess they're just good at removing artifacts.
This is true.
I don't know how this is on flavor with the color, but they are good at removing artifacts.
It's because they shoot like these blasts of energy or whatever, and they destroy like the furniture. So that's why they're good at that.
They're good at speed drawing, which is drawing cards that will exile themselves unless you play them, which doesn't matter because you got to go fast. All right, but there is a problem. The problem with being faster in life is that you can only live in darkness. Weaknesses. Cheetah may be fast, but Cheetah also dies very fast. Not losing the game after the 3-minute mark is pretty difficult for red, and they rarely ever do it. But overall, that may be a bit of a weakness, but on the friendship tier list, they still end up at an A tier. All right, now let's go to green, aka the best color. It's all about instinct and interdependence. The green player says, wow, I want to put a colossal volcation on that bunny and make it 15 meters tall. Green is all about getting really big creatures. And the idea behind green is if I have a creature
Cultivator Colossus
and I make
isn't
its power
30-30.
greater than my opponent's life total, it doesn't matter what they throw at me. I can just throw something bigger at them. All right, this is the ideal way to play Magic the Gathering. So you look at the strengths of green.
You know,
it has big creatures.
I'm starting to get a feeling, guys, that there might be a bias to this video. I don't know if it's just me, but the broccoli seems to be getting a lot of like preferential treatment.
Stompy, stompy, all of your opponent's things. It has artifact and enchantment removal, which goes stompy, stompy over all of your opponent's fun stuff. And then it has big creature draw cards. You can draw cards with green, but you need big creatures for the most part, or just creatures in general. You know, it's anyways, ramping up with big mana so that you can get out those big creatures. Green is good as accelerating itself to get out those big creatures.
True.
You get what I'm saying? All right, fantastic. If you don't, I'm sorry. All right, let's look at the weaknesses. Now, normally, here's where I'd go, oh, green has few flying creatures. Green can't deal with swarms.
What?
But
Yeah,
this is irrelevant because green is the best color. As I stated before, Any problem that your opponent brings up does not matter to green.
I thought that there was going to be some kind of argument for why this is not true, but I guess it's just that it's irrelevant because green is the best.
Simply trample over it and kill your opponent. You don't need to deal with what your opponent's doing if you kill your opponent. All right, so now what have we learned about each individual color in Magic the Gathering? Mm-hmm. Well, we know that white is useless.
Yes.
Blue is not fun.
Okay.
Black is scary.
Yes.
Red is speedy. And green is the best color.
Yes.
All right. Before you leave, just know that literally 0% of viewers are subscribed. So if you can subscribe, it's a big help to the channel. Thank you all for watching and have a...
Very good. Very good. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Let's see. There's only Magic the Gathering videos in my Submit Funny right now. Send me some variety, guys. Let me see how long this is. If this isn't super long. Oh, this is 8 minutes long too. Do you guys want to watch another one of these, or should we do some more drawing and then continue after a small drawing break? What do you guys think? More Magic or more giraffes? And yes, Yersu, it is the Necromancer is very powerful, and thus the patterns are skulls. It's a very powerful creature, okay? Don't underestimate the Necromancer. This one is a very good face. This one is a very good face. I like this face a lot. Very good. This eye is a little bit lower than the other one. Let's make this one like that. There we go. What a beautiful creature. Very good. Another video after some drawing. Okay, let's continue some work, and then we can watch this this one afterwards, and maybe some more if we get some good submissions. Let's get this line art done. We don't need to draw the patterns onto the giraffes with the line art versions. We just move on to the Necromancer after this one. Let's see. Okay. Very good. Like so. Very good. Oh shit, right. I forgot my pointy hand on. There we go. So and so. I mean, honestly, I do have to admit that green is probably my favorite color in Magic as well. I do like it, but I've always been kind of like a green thumb, so it kind of makes sense to me, I guess. It would be really nice to make like a plant deck with carnivorous plants, but there's not a lot of carnivorous plant creatures in Magic. Is there a giraffe? There is not a single giraffe in Magic the Gathering, which is a fucking depressing thing. There's like sponge cards, but there's no giraffes. Like somehow the people who make the cards think that a sponge is more proficient in combat than a giraffe is. What the fuck, man? I don't approve. Black and white. Black and blue, yeah. My main deck is 5 colored. And then the secondaries, black, white, and green. Fnugus amogus. Fnugus amogus. Right? There's not a single giraffe in Magic. It's like the worst part about Magic. Let's give the neck a little bit more volume. Some girth. The white vampire deck you got for free because that was just a silly deck. I haven't played Arena myself. I don't really have an interest in it. To me, when it comes down to card games and stuff like that, a big part of the enjoyment of the concept is in having the physical product. I do enjoy playing on tabletop sim with my friends a lot more than playing physically with an actual deck, but still owning that deck has like a special value to me. And trading cards and stuff like that. It is quite nice. I should bring some cards with me to conventions from time to time to see if there's anybody who wants to trade some cards with me. Mae-mae is yet another company where Mae-mae should be designing. Yes, Sega is another. I would fix a lot of their problems. That's how incredibly super intelligent I am. But I'm sure Sega doesn't even think that they're having problems because they're still like idiot whales in PSO2 who keep paying for that shit. He'd bring MTG to Desu, but he didn't. Oh, shit. Mighties. If you want to play face-to-face at DesuCon in the summer, just let me know and I'll bring my deck. We can touch decks. Or maybe if I end up selling really well, if I get to sell there, maybe we can play draft. Very nice. I've also been thinking of, like, when I go to the States the next time, I should bring, like, some of my excess cards that I don't plan on using in any of my decks and selling them at, like, card stores. Because in the States, the prices for cards are, like, 40 to 100% higher. So you can get some good money for the cards, and then I can buy the, like, good cards in Europe again. Which is pretty sneaky. And yeah, Mighty's we can swap decks as well, so that if my Artifacts of Life ends up being too oppressive, then you can try playing it out as well yourself. The only thing there is that if it turns out that the deck is like super strong in comparison with yours, if you end up losing with it, I'm gonna make fun of you for it. Kind of like how I always make fun of Arcade for like, he almost lost to me with my Artifacts of Life when I was playing like a shit deck that I randomly put cards in. Like I made a deck completely at random and he still almost lost to me. I had to be like, hey Arcade, are you realizing that if you don't do this right now, you're gonna lose to me? And he's like, oh shit. And then he was like, yeah, well, what am I supposed to do? And then he gets all pissy about it. And then I'm like, look, there's something on your field that you can do right now. And he's like, well, what? There's too much text on these cards. And I'm like, you know, just calm down and look. And then he looks at like one of the cards and there's like, it basically just says win the game. And he's like, oh shit. And I'm like, oh fuck. I thought no, you did it because I told you to not lose with the deck. Mine are pre-made. Some pre-made decks are pretty strong. Like Val was playing the fucking whatchamacallit, the artifact deck with the Necrons from Warhammer. That was a pretty strong deck for a pre-con deck. So yeah. Yeah, Necrons, yeah. That was a pretty strong pre-con. Oh, yeah, this one. It's too big. But yeah, I'd be down to play. And I'm sure we'd be able to find some more people to join us as well. It would be nice if I could have another deck to play there. Specifically, Fnugush Amogush. But I don't think I can afford it right now with how much money I've spent on my books and stuff. Sorry. Commander. I don't play... well, I only play other formats digitally. It's kind of expensive to get decks for every single format. And now that I'm sort of deep in the hole with my book purchases, I can't really splurge on anything. So the next time I splurge on anything is gonna be when I know if I can get some money back for my books. If I do end up getting money back for them, then maybe I'll splurge a little bit and maybe I'll get myself Nugush Amogush. I can give you the deck list if you want to make like an anti deck against it. It's an artifact deck. This ear looks different from the other one. I don't like it. Let's remove it. And let's cheat. Just copy the other ear to this side. I don't feel like spending time on this. I'm glad I was able to find those Primordial Darkness triggers. 3 of them at that too. That's very good. I'll be able to try it on the weekend. I've been... like, I get such anxiety for trying it. It's such a hard quest. For anybody who doesn't know, I've been trying to solo, like, the hardest quest in Phantasy Star Online 2 for, like, 2 weeks now. It's really, really hard. It's really, really tiresome because it takes an hour to complete. And I've been failing at the last second for, like, multiple times now. I'm like, this close to getting it. And the anxiety of it is getting to me a little bit, for sure. But after that, there should be only 2 quests left afterwards, and they should be easier than that one. So the PSO2 endeavor isn't going to keep going for a very long time. And then after that, I'll probably play Monster Hunter with Amico. He wanted to have a Monster Hunter sort of thing together. So we're gonna play like a Monster Hunter World mod that makes the game sort of like fundamentally different. If there are any eager Monster Hunters who would like to join on that journey, just let me know in advance. There technically is 2 more slots for people. The only requirement that I have for people joining is that you have to understand that it's going to be a pretty hardcore run. We're not going to be sitting down to grind for gear for like hours. We're just going to push through everything with at minimal gear that we can until we're at like master rank. So if you're not into that, you know, it might not be for you. Did you say meseta? So the triggers, right? The triggers are not bought with meseta, which is why I'm kind of pressured by the situation. The triggers are bought with a premium currency called Star Gems, or SG for short. And SG is something that you can't obtain consistently in the game. SG is what should I call, like, compare it to? It's kind of like Tomestones of Causality in Final Fantasy XIV. It's mostly used for cosmetics, and you can like roll gachas with it, and some exclusive SG gachas with it, and usually the SG is the currency that you use in the game to circumvent the time gating of the game. So generally, like, for example, the characters have like a gathering stamina. So if your GP has run out, you can restart it with SG. Or if your inventory is too small, you can purchase more with SG, temporarily at least. SG is generally for like quality of life stuff, and there's not a lot of SG that is like available in large quantities to the player that you can get through playing the game itself. However, I am so SG's value at the end of PSO2 Classic skyrocketed because there was an item scratch, so a gacha that used SG that had like insanely powerful like weapon augmentation materials in it. And because of that, I harvested the most SG that I could possibly think of. I played a gacha game on the phone that gave me SG. I played the one quest that you might at least remember, Yersu, where there's 999 floors and the final floor just one-shots you with everything. You would get, I think, 20 SG for every 5 floors there. And for every 100 floors, you'd get like 50 to 100 SG, I think. So a big reason to why I did all the 999 floors there was because of the SG. And because of that, I have like 2,800 of something like that left of the SG. And you use about 200 SG per for the triggers. So in theory, there's a limited amount of triggers that I can get. Obviously, 2,000 is a shitload. 2,900 especially. And now that we got the triple Primordial Darkness, I should be semi-good. But I just need to find my own comfort groove in the final phase of the Primo fight. But that's how it is for the Japanese players, is that SG is the currency that you can use to activate the emergency quests on a whim. There used to be a emergency quest schedule that will show you when specific emergency quests happen, but that no longer exists, and everything is completely random. So there's no way to sort of just do it for free. So I have to use my SG for that, and it kind of hurts because I put so much effort into getting all of it, but I don't really have any desire to play NGS in the first place, so I guess it's not that big of a loss. And I've really always wanted to solo Primordial Darkness, especially. The other ones don't really matter to me that much, but Primordial Darkness is something that I've really, really wanted to solo for such a long time. And I deeply regret the fact that I didn't solo it earlier, when the game was still alive, because now it's like excessively more difficult than it was back then. But I guess the value of completing it with the handicap is also there, I suppose. But it is frustrating, though, to fail it after an hour of running. Especially after, like, the 7th time of failing it. Here we go. Here's some good memes. But I will get it yet. I will. There's jam. Put this here. Oh, this one is also the jam. This is line art. There we go. And let's do Necromancer next. But yeah, probably gonna do some primal runs on the weekend. And then if I end up clearing it, I might also do Profound Darkness and Elder. Thank you, Sorrow. I appreciate it very much. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. Wait, I know like every single one of these characters. I think. Yes, I do. I know every single one of them, yes. Very good. Thank you for your answers. I also see that you are a woman of high culture for liking cat girl boys. They are indeed very good. Ah, fuck my back. I need to stretch a little bit. I've been drawing so much this week and last week. We're gonna draw the ley lines with color only, so we're not gonna include that in the line art. This is a fearsome creature. Oh yeah, Arcade, did you start the transphobic Harry Potter game? Did you get assigned to Hufflepuff yet? We have this ongoing debate that Arcade would definitely always be Hufflepuff if he ever got Harry Pottered. Like his entire family is like Hufflepuffs. They're like the Weasleys of Hufflepuffs. So I always make fun of him for it. They're always trying to like especially his brother is always like, oh, but the honey badger is really cool though. And I'm like, no, it's not. Fucking, there's a griffin there. There's a griffin and a snake. What the fuck does a honey badger do? It doesn't do shit. It's not released for me yet. Oh, you didn't pre-order it. Okay. I have done tests just for fun. I've gotten Ravenclaw. I'm also Ravenclaw. I was mostly Ravenclaw, and then next was Slytherin. I mean, I guess that's not really a surprise to anyone. The Slytherin part, at least. You walked into the room as soon as you started. Tell him that honey badgers can suck a dick. Hufflepuffs only exist in Hogwarts to make all the other fucking guilds look like cooler. That's like their whole purpose in Hogwarts. No cool person was ever a Hufflepuff. They're like greatest achievements in Hogwarts have been like making the best pumpkin pie dough or something stupid like that. Hufflepuffs are stupidly cringe. And everybody knows this, except for Hufflepuffs, who are in like deep denial about it. Yeah, the honey badger, yeah, the honey badger, yeah. Okay. No? Well, I look forward to your honey badgering. When it comes down to it. Arcade always lies in the quizzes, so he gets like Gryffindor or whatever. But that's definitely like, I would need to be there to sort of like vouch if his answers are honest or not. This image of himself in his head is very different from the reality. So you know. At least Cedric Diggory was hot according to Kara. True. I guess that's a good thing. 21 hours also keeping you updated to what I get. Very good. I look forward to hearing about it. I was honestly surprised that I just didn't end up in Slytherin in the first place. Ravenclaw, I guess, you know, I mean, birds are cute, so I guess I'm not super mad about it. And there's also like shitloads of like stupid edgelords in Slytherin, so I guess that's like Ravenclaw is like the more peaceful side of Slytherin. They're kind of shitlords or dickbags, but they're kind of quiet about it. I'm not very quiet about it though. Let me wipe my nose. I got too excited over screaming about the stupidity of Hufflepuff. There we go. With the Pottermore, I think that's like the official test. That's where I got Ravenclaw. And my Protecticus, or whatever it's called, the stupid white thing, I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what it was at all. Might have been like a dolphin or something stupid like that. Like, what the fuck is a dolphin gonna do? I don't know. I can't even say because that's probably against TOS, because dolphins are fucking offensive. You know, the more intelligent the creatures become, the more likely they are to become degenerates. And dolphins very much are degenerates. I can vouch for the fact that this is true in like the furry circles as well. I once knew a dolphin person whose fetish was to get their blowhole fucked. I mean, you know, using your character traits to the best of it is really good, I guess. But I never really like understood like how can anybody find that like appealing? Because like there's no way for you to like relate to it. It's like you're sticking things into your nose or something while you're imagining that. It's really hard for me to imagine how you could relate to that. But that's just me. If there's any dolphin lovers in chat, please let me know how that works. Oh, also, Mr. Smith, he hasn't contacted me in a long time. It's been like almost a week now. Maybe he was upset over the fact that I exposed him. I don't think he found out about it, but maybe he didn't like the fact that I questioned if he's really an agent of the Matrix, which is very unfortunate. But you know, that's kind of what you get when you start injecting like heavy-duty politics into your RPs, which is like, don't do that. Come on, just keep it stupid and horny, and that's like everybody's happy. Like, imagine if like you're playing a TTRPG with your friends, and suddenly like one of the characters is like, "Hey, what do you guys think about Donald Trump?" You're like, "Fuck! No, this is not the time of like we're just about to fight a dragon." And the one of the characters is just like, "Do you think they're a right or left wing person? Do you think the dragon believes in this and this human rights?" It's like, no, this is not the place for that. So yeah, I think Mr. Smith didn't like the fact that I called him out on the fact that everything he probably asked me about was complete bullshit. I mean, I can understand if you want to sort of RP in real life too, it can be really devastating mentally. Sort of like, it definitely is a mood killer if somebody calls out your reality to you or your situation to you. I can totally get that. But yeah. We're not gonna give the Necromancer a shadow because the ley lines are gonna shine, so that's gonna be like covering the... What is your opinion on the validity of communism? Is not something I want to get into while it related. Right now, imagine the same question, but it's the person who's railing you in the asshole in bed is asking you that. It's like completely the wrong place. It's such an incredibly wrong place for it. Excuse me, ma'am. What do you think of this and this political issue in the United States right now? While we are doing weird fetish RP. I don't know what was up with that. It was weird. Bit of a tonal, right, like a bit of a tonal whiplash. It's like, I get that when you find someone who you, I think this is sort of like, I actually discussed this with my mother today, in terms of like, when you enjoy someone's company, or even if just life kind of forces you to spend time with them a lot, such as in families, it's very often common that, for example, the parents try to sort of inject their own political or personal views onto their children, right? And when it comes down to sort of online friendships, quote unquote, or something like that, it's pretty common for people to try to inject their political views onto each other, or like trying to sort of enforce specific kinds of political views to their friends, simply because they want sort of approval from their comrades or whatever. And I think that's pretty normal. Like I have like very sort of like specific, like, well, I wouldn't really call myself a very political person. I have a very like strong opinions on specific subjects for sure, and I definitely, because I'm the only one talking, obviously it's very easy for me to push my own vision on streams on subject matters very easily. The difference though is that like for example, he's like a pretty he's like a pretty Trump supporty kind of person, and while I don't necessarily agree with him, and I think like a lot of his fears in life are like completely nonsensical, like that there's like this evil super bank that is controlling all of the world. It just sounds like a conspiracy theory to me. But I don't think less of him as a friend because of it. He's still my friend, and while I disagree with some of his views and I think some of his beliefs are stupid, I don't think that he as a person is stupid. You know, being able to separate your friends from their political views and stuff like that is pretty important, I think. But for people who RP as like something that they're not, such as being Mr. Smith online, it can be mentally damaging, or like it might do damage to your sort of safe space that you've created for yourself in your mind, when somebody openly questions your fantasy, and it can be a mood killer for sure. Like my thing is though that wait, the book fucking papers don't make any sense. My personal thing is though that if I can't be honest around a person, it becomes really, really hard for me to behave normally around them. Sort of keeping my emotions completely sealed is something that I'm not I'm not super comfortable with it. If a person says something really stupid, I'm gonna say that, hey, that sounds really fucking stupid, right? It's really hard for me to shut up, and especially like in an RP scenario, if I know that this person is like trying to embed this weird fantasy on me, it definitely will get some backlash from me. It's really hard for me to support that because I don't believe in it, and I don't want to act like I do, because I feel like that's dishonest, and that goes against sort of the point of being friends, right? And a lot of people, they're like always like, oh yeah, I really like how Mae-mae like always speaks what she really thinks. So it sort of leaves like an air of transparency to it. But I have had so many friendships destroyed because the person who complimented me yesterday on the fact that I speak my mind is having a bad day today, and when I speak my mind, it's not what they want to hear. They just wanted empty agreement or something like that in this day, and because I bring up the fact that, hey, you literally talked about this yesterday, why are you still like stuck on it? Like we literally discussed this, why are we back to like stage one again? It really crushes a lot of people, I feel. But it's also kind of, I feel like it's kind of unfair towards me because they give me the impression that they like the fact that I'm direct, but then somehow I'm supposed to be psychic and know when they're having a bad day, so I shouldn't be direct today. And then even then, if I completely do a 180 in my opinion, that I had like a different opinion yesterday, they know that I'm patronizing them. So isn't that kind of shitty of me to do as well? I don't know. Being sort of not super soft-spoken, I feel it's like people respect it, but then when it's directed at them, they no longer respect it. On the long shot, they might come back to think about it and be like, yeah, well, I technically did know that this would be how they would react. But I often get into trouble. Well, not I don't get into trouble, but I get into arguments and friendships, especially like a sort of mild acquaintance friendships are very easy to end very fast because of the fact that I don't think that you're working for a secret shadow organization from Australia. And it's kind of unfortunate. It is definitely kind of unfortunate. But it's so painfully hard to lie to people about stuff like that. Especially when it's like people who are like emotionally manipulative about it too. Which is how it's most often. Like, people try to get more respect than they deserve with lies, or like for example, there's this one dude on my server. I'm not gonna out them, but there's a one dude in my on my server who has a habit of lying and overemphasizing about like who they are as a person a lot. And it's so, I feel like I'm being disrespected if they expect me to believe the horseshit that they're spewing, you know? And I don't like that. It's weird. Like, when I don't know, being direct with your approach to a lot of people is kind of considered scary, I guess. And it's unfortunate because at the point in my life where I am, I kind of don't want to change, because I personally believe that being honest about stuff is the way you should be. So obviously white lies here and there are completely fine, like hiding like a birthday party or something like that. That's totally fine. But generally speaking, like, I don't know, like the one thing that I really am scared of behind like one of my biggest fears in life is having people talk shit about me behind my back. I really don't like it. It's because I don't like have control of the narrative there. And I really don't like it when I like, yeah, it's gonna sound a little bit control freaky, but it really feels bad when people talk about you behind your back and you don't have any avenue of defending yourself against their attack. That's something that I've always been really afraid of. And like people who are like are dishonest about how they treat you, that sort of falls into the same category. Like people who you were like good friends with, quote unquote, or like talked with openly or whatever, and now suddenly they're like ignoring you on social media and ignoring all of your replies, or like the Discord messages and stuff like that. And there hasn't been any conversation about like why, but they just suddenly do it. And you are not given the option to explain yourself or talk about whatever they're seeing in you, even though you haven't had a single conversation with them. Somehow they still find you suddenly like unlikable. That's the kind of stuff that I really, really dislike. Which is why it's like a double-edged sword to be sort of direct in speaking, because I know that the fact that I'm like, for example, the fact that I'm trans sort of comes with the luggage of having a lot of people in my near circles who are like very sensitive, especially like emotionally, and might not be sort of mentally ready to have a trans person who has these like very powerful opinions, like for example about the social justice movement and whatever like that. And while a lot of people in my community agree with what I say, obviously they wouldn't be here if they didn't. I feel like a lot of people who are a little bit more sensitive to these kind of subjects might take personal offense to the fact that I don't necessarily agree with a lot of things that they say, and I'm very open about it too. And I feel like I'm alienating some parts of my sort of friend circles because of this. But like, then the real question becomes like, are those people's approval of me, is it more valuable than me being happy with myself? And I don't think it is. As mean as it might be. If people dislike me and don't even have the guts to tell me about it, I don't know if I really needed those people's approval in the first place. I feel like that's kind of an unnecessary... like an unnecessary mountain to try to climb, is to be loved by everyone. I mean, it's an impossible mountain to climb in the first place. To be loved by everyone. I would love to be loved by everybody, but I also love not lying about things. And I don't know. It's a very double-edged sword. But here I go ranting about something stupid. Sorry if that wasn't super interesting. I was there was something that, yeah, the conversation that I had with Mom today sort of sparked that thought in my head. And usually for me, for my mental health, it's better to get my thoughts out so that I don't get stuck on them. So saying them out loud sort of helps me deal with some of the thoughts that I might have. And yeah, my wife does it too. Yeah, right. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, right. But Val, some friends are like, they don't want to be told when they fuck up, when they're not feeling good about it in the first place. Because some people, when they fuck something up, like really badly, they go into instant denial about it, and they're like, no, I didn't fuck up, you're just being mean about pointing this out to me. Even though they did absolutely fuck up, and it's absolutely their fault. They just are not mentally ready to take responsibility for it yet. They might be in like a day or two, but not right now, they're not. But then again, is the responsibility of knowing when you are ready to receive the truth, is that my responsibility? If you're whining about, like, let's say you fell for an NFT scam. If you fell for an NFT scam and you're whining in my public chat, in my Discord server, about how the NFT was so evil, and how you lost all of your money, and how everything's going to shit, and everything's bad, and stuff like that. And then if I point out, well, it's your own fucking stupidity for falling for the scam, which was probably super obviously a scam to begin with. Like, why did you go for that in the first place? You know it's not gonna... like, easy money doesn't exist just like that. And then they get fucking... then they go completely ballistic over it. Because they're not ready to accept the responsibility of the fact that, yes, I am a stupid person for investing in this. It's my fault that I fucked up. And it's... the only person who I can blame for this fuck up is myself. Because that really hurts. Accepting responsibility for your failure, it really, really, really hurts. I feel like it's a really important thing, or a really important skill to have, is to understand when a mistake is your fault, or like when a failure is because of your performance or something like that. Something that I sort of noticed that kind of I was pretty happy about was that when I was failing the Primordial Darkness runs, I wasn't saying that, oh shit, the game sucks, fuck, like it's so poorly designed or something like that. It was, it was my fault that I failed because I can't hit the weak spot properly with my counters. It's my fault. It's really hard, yes, and I'm handicapping myself by playing with a controller when I should be playing with mouse and keyboard. But that doesn't change the fact that it's my fault that I lost. Because I'm the person who chooses to play with a controller. And I'm the person who chose to begin the endeavor in the first place. So I'm in no place to complain about the game being mean to me when I basically self-impose these incredibly difficult rules upon myself to make it as difficult and miserable as possible. But I definitely had a habit of shifting blame. Not even too long ago as well. And because I'm trying to better myself in that, where I'm trying to blame other things for my mistakes, it's frustrating to see other people like blaming something that is obviously their fault on something else. And then they get frustrated when it's pointed out to them, which I can totally understand because it really sucks to take responsibility for your own fuck-ups. But I feel like no matter what, it's still better on the long run if you take responsibility. Because how are you supposed to get better at anything or fix anything if there's no problem? Like, by saying that it's not your responsibility. Like, if I kept saying that it's not my fault that I failed the Primordial Darkness run, then there would be nothing to fix about my playstyle or my performance. And it's just getting lucky or getting the game to do the thing right. Or something like that, when that's not true. The problem is that I'm not good enough at what I'm trying to do. And that's all there really is to it. And by acknowledging the fact that it's because I'm not good enough, I can be better. And I can be like, okay, well, now I need to figure out what I'm doing wrong. What can I do better? How can I improve my damage output or whatever? How can I push this this run to the next level? But if I keep saying that no, it's not my fault, it's the game's fault or something like that, then I can't grow. And when I can't grow, I can't get past the hurdle in the first place. So I feel like no matter what and no matter how painful it is, it's sort of just looking truth in the face is really, really important for just people in general. It's not just, why is this an Amogus? I'll make it an Amogus in this one too. Here we go. Let's give it the backpack too. Here we go. It's kind of hidden behind that. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Well, if you don't want to talk about the super heavy topic while drawing stupid giraffes, it's okay. That's totally fine. After I'm done with the line art of this, we're gonna watch some funny videos again. Necromancer is such a stupid thing, though. Found weird food history. That's totally fine too. Interesting videos are good too. It doesn't have to be just funny videos. Because people's sort of ideas of what funny is are very different, as we have definitely learned from Zoltan. His brand of funny is very, very, very different from my brand of funny. So yeah. Wait, why is there oh, there's another line art layer here. So goddamn, it's so warm in my room and it smells like burnt popcorn. I wonder why. It's almost like somebody burnt some popcorn recently. But I couldn't possibly figure out who. A definition. But yeah, you can send funny videos, you can send interesting videos, it's fine. Just something that you found personally interesting. Don't send me like 3-hour videos, please. Would be nice if I got some of these giraffes done. Oh shit, there's lyrics. This is definitely the ending song. Okay, yeah. Just in case. Because it might be copyrighted. I don't want to offend anyone's copyrightedness with that. The hentai videos. I actually haven't watched hentai in a very long time. I think probably like manga. If we specifically say hentai anime, right? I think the last time I watched hentai anime was like before COVID. I think we watched some hentai together with Arcade, like when he was here for like the second time, and that was like the last time I watched hentai. My kinks are too specific. Like the anime usually doesn't have any of it, because the anime is usually like really vanilla and basic bitch shit. Wait, no, this is not true. I did watch like I fucked my best friend or something stupid like that is the name of it. It's about like these two dudes, and one of them is like he's like well, they're both sort of womanizers. The other one is kind of a wannabe womanizer. He's just like he doesn't have that ikemen charm that his bro has, and they're going around the beach trying to hit on girls, and then there's this girl who approaches the less popular guy who's our main character, and she's like, hey, are you this person? I have a gift for you. And the main character is like, oh shit, it's this motherfucker being popular again. Well, how about I be funny and I'm gonna steal his gift? And he's like, oh yeah, that's me, all right. And then she's like, yeah, I'm a big fan, and she gives him like chocolate or something like that. And then he's like, ah, fuck, God, I hate this guy. He's like so much more popular than me. And then he eats the chocolate and he turns into a girl. And I was like, oh yeah, this is my thing, my kind of thing. Fuck yeah. And then they fuck. Then he turns back into a dude. They still fuck, which was really impressive. Usually in these contexts, the narrative is very, very like hetero oriented. It's like, yeah, turning your best friend into a tomboy is like an appealing concept, I guess. But in this one, they fucked even though the guy turned back into a dude, which was really weird, because it was still clearly a hentai for guys, which means that the guy was moaning like a bitch, and it was kind of funny, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that was, and that one I watched like I think last year or something. I basically watched it as soon as it released, because I had read the manga version of it, which I'm not sure if it was a hentai to begin with. It was definitely explicit, but I don't remember if it was like hentai as in the characters' dicks are just flopping about, but they're just censored. Because I think that it might have just been like where you never see anything. The characters are posed in a way that you don't see. That's like the difference between a hentai and erotica. Is erotica is more subtle about it, the nudity specifically, and hentai is just like dicks everywhere. But they're just censored. But yeah, check it out if you're interested. I think the animation is specifically and exactly called "I fucked my best friend," as stupid as it is. I think the original title was like "My best friend turned into a dark-skinned Gyaru," or something like that. So they might have dropped the dark skin thing out of it because of international, more in a more international context that might be seen as like negative, like racially charged or something like that. Even though it's just a part of the Gyaru culture to have like a fake tan, and then the name for Gyarus like that is Kuro Gyaru, which means like black Gyaru. When directly translated to English, and that might have been a problematic term, so that's why it's just called "I fucked my best friend," which is fine. This necromancer is very excited. They're about to romance someone's neck real hard. They all have this vacant, stupid expression on their faces. That's very important for the appropriate depiction of a Mae-mae. What a powerful creature. Very good. Okay, let's have a break to watch some funny videos. I still have three more left to go. I'll probably go a bit late today with the stream. You don't have to stay up as late as I'm planning on, because of the stream. So feel free to go to bed whenever you feel like it. But I will keep streaming for a while longer because we still have this one, and this one to do. This one is still very powerful though. Let's save this and continue from here after some funny videos. I get my pointy finger. Ah, shit, my hands! Here we go. I had an extra hand there. Don't worry about it. We don't talk about that one. Let's see here. Okay, so let's see the color combination one. Meaning behind every color combo, and then after that, we're gonna go tasting the history of ice cream. I could really go for fucking some ice cream right now. So, no.
Colors.
No,
Some are...
no. Open it in YouTube, please. Thank
colors.
You. Here we go. Let's see. Our leader is so nice we get to sleep when we want. Yes. Yes. This is not one of those cults where you have to all go to bed at the same time. You can go to bed whenever you feel like it. Don't worry about it. As I like to emphasize, my streams are just for me, for fun, and for me to not be super lonely. Obviously, if there's nobody watching or talking with me, then I'm just gonna cut down the stream. But for as long as there's at least one person keeping company to me, I will keep streaming. Because that's kind of the point of streaming for me. But let's check out this funny video about the meaning behind every color combo in Magic the Gathering.
Some are good, some are bad, and others are just scary.
True.
But what if we combined the colors? Would bad plus bad equal to a bad color? Would good plus good equal to a good color? And what if we combined the good and the bad?
Oh.
Would that be good? Would that be bad? Well, let's find out. Today, I'm going to be combining each color in Magic the Gathering and telling you where they rank on the friendship list.
Okay.
Azorius. That's blue and white. So they're all about control.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is they kind of have a god complex.
Oh, shit.
So basically, imagine if you took somebody powerless and worthless,
Mm-hmm.
and then you gave them the power to create. Except for you didn't do that because you
This is like the plot to so many isekai light novels. It's always like, I know I've ranted about this before, but like, fuck, I really hate it. The trope where the main character gets like the power of creation as their like light novel power, and you're like, oh, and then everybody's like, oh, the power to create anything you want, that's such a shit skill, like nobody wants that, like I can make fireballs, I'm much better. And then they're like, okay, so I can create anything, I will create anything, like the item that will make me into God, and then that's it. And they're just instantly like completely overpowered, and everything becomes insanely boring.
You gave them the power to hurt others, and the only thing that they can do is that. They literally have card that is just a god. Like, they clearly have a god complex. That's all I'm saying. On the friendship tier list, that's going to be an easy F. There's no redeeming qualities. They just like to hurt everybody around them. Rakdos, black and red. Rakdos is all about having fun, throwing massive ragers, and also sacrificing yourself to the demon lord Rakdos.
Ah.
So Rakdos, you see, is kind of a cult.
Oh.
And they worship this guy, guess his name, Rakdos.
Oh, shit. What a surprise.
And the thing about Rakdos, the showstopper, is he loves parties. Absolutely just can't get enough of them. However, he's a very bad influence and not a good person. So let's say he's throwing a party and somebody does an act for him and they're going back and forth and they're doing their act. And then he decides he doesn't like the act. He will then kill the person doing that act for his
guy
own
on a
amusement.
wheelchair.
I spent 15 minutes on this slide. All right, so Rakdos loves to party, but they will probably kill somebody at that party, and that could be you.
Mm-hmm.
So in the friendship tier list, we're going to put them at a solid B, because at the very least, they're not boring, and there's no way I'm putting them below white.
Yeah.
Simic, green and blue. Simic is all about getting bigger, getting bigger, getting bigger, and getting bigger.
Mm.
All right, so normally blue sucks.
Yes.
But then green comes in and is like, hey, we can do something other than counter cards with the cards we draw.
Mm-hmm.
So then, bam, you get cards that let you draw and get bigger creatures. It's like if you took a really sucky card and then you combined a really good card and you combined them, and then the result was really cool and amazing. And you have
Simic
no
is
idea
fucking
why.
Powerful.
It's like if you took Joseph Stalin and
God
Mother
damn it.
Teresa and then they solved world hunger. Okay, bad example. All right, so on the friendship tier list, I'm going to put them at as an easy A. They're completely solid, just absolutely amazing.
That's okay. So if anybody plays Simic, by the way, if anybody plays Simic on the table, especially in Commander, you're not gonna be the friend. You're not gonna be the friend up there. Everybody knows that Simic is like the most powerful color combination in EDH. It's
Can't
so
put them
strong.
in S because they have blue in it. But you know, is it time for? Is it? No. Boros.
Yes.
Righteousness.
Yes.
Zealous. Angles. And purging the non-believers. Imagine if you took the aggressiveness of red and then you combined it with the army making ability of white. You'd get an aggressive army, as I'm sure you could deduce.
I mean, yeah, that makes
All
sense.
right, so that's cool and all. But they have a few drawbacks, all right? They won't shut up about war. So a typical conversation between two Boros people is like, hey, war, 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 war. And then the other one will go, war, 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 war. And then I'm over here in the corner like, hey, can we talk about something else? I'm kind of bored of all this war talk. And then they say death to the heretic. So yeah, on the friendship tier list, I'm going to put them at a C tier. Not my favorite people to hang out with, but I'll do it if I have to. Is it time for Dimir? No. Is it? It's all about red and blue. Zap, zap. Pew, pew. Spell. Copy that 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 spell.
I've heard about this.
I think you're getting where this is going. So is it? It's the one-hit wonder. They have one good idea, and then the rest is just a copy because they can't come up with anything else good. So, they start off by just playing a grape shot, and then it deals 1 damage, but then it's got the storm ability, so it gets copied and copied and copied and copied, and then they copy it a bunch more until it's like 18 billion damage, and you're like, well, this is sure fun. And God forbid they get time warp, and then they copy that. And then you're like, oh, but that's okay, Noah, because I can just counterspell the time warp. No, because they're blue, so they can just counter it back because they suck. All right, so is it? No originality, nothing cool about them. On the friendship tier list, that's a D tier. And I
thought it would be an E, honestly.
All right, Gruul. Red and green. Aggression of red and the power of green. So it's all about these big green creatures and red aggressive creatures, and they combine to make something absolutely beautiful and amazing. So Gruul may be strong, but Gruul is also fair. What you see is what you get with Gruul. If I play a big dragon, I got a big dragon. I play a big dinosaur, I got a big dinosaur. There's none of that just random keeping stuff in your hand, just being like, oh, what's the right time to strike? Oh, maybe I'll take another turn. Nope, it's all about big aggression. What you say is what you do. None of that. All right, so in the friendship tier list, that's an easy S tier. Really, I can't think of anything wrong with them. All right, Orzhov. Black and white. It sucks. Literally, it sucks. Orzhov has a ton of vampires that just drain people for life, and then they take that life for themselves. Basically, imagine if you take the ability to sacrifice your friends from black, and then you take the ability to create cannon fodder from white, and then all of a sudden you combine them, and bam, we got war crimes. All right, so it's like if you take Grizzly.
I've noticed when I've been playing Fnugus Amogus, which is a black-white-green deck, there is definitely a really good synergy with white, green, and black, because those first two create a shitload of like tokens and creatures and whatever, and then there's black that can sacrifice them to gain like massive benefits for it, and then the other ones just keep creating more. It is very powerful for sure. Also, Grizzlebrand is banned. He's way too powerful in Commander. He's like absolutely insane. You get him on the field and you win instantly.
Grizzlebrand. And then you put them into a priest. It's pretty much a cult. Yep, it's a cult, but without the fun of Rakdos. So if you put it in here, it's got to be below Rakdos. It's F. There's nothing. It's dumb. All right, Golgari. Black and green. Life and death, but mostly just death. Pretty much it's all just death. So death is greater than being alive because you can make dead things alive with Golgari. Makes sense? All right, so Golgari is all about the graveyard and putting things in your grave so you can get them back and just reviving everybody. Or, alternatively, you could just take advantage of all the things in your graveyard and just completely exile them and hurt them even more. So here's the thing about Golgari. They can either revive you or they can use you as cannon fodder and throw your existence into the void where you will never be seen again. And it's kind of give or take. So it's C tier, could be really good. They could be S tier, they could be F tier. You just don't know. So we're just going to throw them in C tier. Dimir, black and blue, F tier. All right, Selesnya. Selesnya is white.
That was not a very long conversation.
It's all about making a soldier, and then, oh, they got more soldiers. Oh, they got more soldiers. Bam, they got an army now. But here's the problem with Selesnya. They got so many soldiers. That's all you are to them. You're just a 1/1 creature and nothing else. Imagine you would want Selesnya to be, you take all the fun from green and you put it in white. Well, they don't do that. Rather, they take all the fun from green and they put it in the garbage. So Selesnya, it's pretty much just white. But why is that? Because it sucks with no redeeming qualities. The best way to make a Selesnya deck is to simply just only put green cards in it. That is the best way to make it. All right?
I mean, that would work.
So on the friendship tier list, I'm putting him at a D tier.
I have a Selesnya deck. It's called Horrors of Babylon. It's got horses. It's a horse deck. It's a life gain deck. It's pretty powerful, to be honest.
Looking at this list again, I gotta say white. I'm gonna put that down to E tier. It was ranked too high before. All right, and I know what you guys are saying. No, you're only focusing on one aspect of each combo.
Conspiracy theorist.
I say yes, but now we can laugh at all the people who get mad about this in the comments section, and that'll be super funny.
True.
All right, only 0.1% of...
Very good. Very good. Let's watch the funny ice cream thing. That is probably not funny, but more interesting.
Chocolate peanut butter ice cream. That is my
now I want ice cream. Fuck.
favorite flavor, and not what we're making today.
Shit.
No, today we are going back to the 18th century and making a Parmesan cheese ice cream. So thank you to Wondrium for sponsoring this video on Parmesan cheese ice cream. Perhaps
what the fuck?
Gene Parmesan's greatest disguise.
Gene! Oh, Gene, isn't he the best?
This time on Tasting History.
I've never watched this.
So it seems kind of weird, cheese in ice cream.
Yes,
or rather,
it does.
It seems like a flavor that would be made in some hoity-toity New York restaurant, like wasabi ice cream or garlic ice cream.
No, those sound like some horseshit garbage that Arcade would be like, oh, I think that sounds pretty good. No. Can you get like the impression that I'm kind of fed up with Arcade being like, oh yeah, like minced oyster ice cream. Yeah, that sounds delicious. I'm gonna try that. No. That does sound like something like that. Fuck.
Of which I have tried.
Shit.
But in the 18th century, they were more adventurous with flavors than Ben, Jerry, Baskin, and Robbins combined. And many of the weird flavors, of which we will see, come from the Complete Confectioner by the Englishman Frederick Nutt.
You would definitely eat wasabi ice cream, though.
Written in 1789.
His
and
name
that's
is
where we
Nutt.
get today's recipe.
Very good.
Number 150, Parmesan cheese ice cream. Take 6 eggs,
Okay.
half a pint of syrup, and a pint of cream. Put them into a stew pan and boil them until it begins to thicken.
Okay.
Then rasp 3 ounces of Parmesan cheese, mix and pass them through a sieve, and freeze it. It's actually really simple, and since it was written before the imperial pint was around, I didn't have to do a lot of math to make the conversion to modern American units.
Stupid
So for this
American
recipe,
units.
I need 6 eggs.
Right.
6 medium eggs to be specific, because eggs were smaller back then, but if you are using extra large eggs, use 5, and it's not going to make much of a difference. Also, what does make a difference is they need to be at room temperature. 1 cup or 235 milliliters simple syrup, 2 cups or 475 milliliters
I guess the syrup is like the replacement for sugar for this stuff.
heavy cream, and 3 ounces or 85 grams freshly grated Parmesan.
Okay.
And it has to be freshly grated, because if you buy pre-grated, they usually add other things to make it so the gratings or shaving...
So, some food connoisseur in chat, what is the difference between Parmesan cheese and the normie cheese? Like cream cheese. What is the difference?
Things don't melt together, but that's also going to make it so they don't melt in the ice cream, and that's going to be gross. So first, whisk your room temperature eggs in a medium saucepan.
Okay.
And then add the cream and the syrup and whisk to combine. Then set it over a low heat
Parmesan is hard cheese. But doesn't that just mean like normal cheese that has dried up?
on the stove. And don't be tempted to raise the heat because you don't think anything's happening, because you'll end up with scrambled eggs. Also, once it does start to get warm, you'll want to start stirring it continuously so it stays perfectly smooth.
Okay.
Now, it should start to thicken right around 170 degrees Fahrenheit or 76 degrees Celsius. And you don't want to let it go too much above that because, again, scrambled eggs. Now, if you don't have a thermometer, you can...
Wait, what? You can only legally make Parmesan cheese in one region. It's not like some legal jargon. It's because of a unique bacterial Oh, interesting.
Just do it by taking a spoon, dipping it in the custard, and running your finger over the back of the spoon. If it leaves a defined line, your custard is ready.
Oh.
At this point, take the pan off the heat and add in the Parmesan cheese, whisking until it's all melted. Then pour the mixture through a sieve into a clean bowl and let it cool. And speaking of cool, nothing is cooler than learning, and a great way to learn is with today's sponsor, Wondrium. Your brain is going to love this place. Now, if you've watched this channel before, you've probably heard me talk about the Great Courses Plus. And the team over there has taken the Great Courses Plus and, in the words of Walt Disney, plussed it. They've added a bunch of new stuff to
Great
create
Courses
Wondrium.
Plus is
It's
not
essentially
the most...
Great Courses Plus.
It doesn't
Plus,
sort of slide off
with
your
a
tongue.
well-researched catalog of short-form and long-form videos, tutorials, documentaries, and travelogues. It is the place to find out about pretty much anything you've ever wondered about. Hence the
Parmesan.
name.
Sounds very luxurious.
Wondrium. I was watching a series on pirates because pirates are awesome as long as
Guess
you
what
don't
we're gonna
actually
try
meet one
make-
in real life.
If it
And
looks good,
the
I'm down
instructor
to
was
try
talking
this.
about 18th century Swedish
Look!
pirates in the
Finland. It's right there. Even back then, they had already invented Finland. What an impressive time.
Baltic Sea. I had no idea that was a thing. Mind blown. So if
okay.
you've ever wondered about pretty much anything, Wondrium is going to be your new favorite place. And they are offering a free trial for the viewers of Tasting History. Just click the link wondrium.com/tastinghistory in the description below to start your free trial today. Now once your Parmesan custard has cooled, it is time to freeze it.
Oh,
Now
shit.
you can use an old-style manual
Ice to see
churning
you.
and freezing technique, or you can use a modern one. They pretty much tend to do the exact same thing. But regardless of what you use to churn your ice cream, go ahead and hit that like button, and as your ice cream churns, let me churn you up the story of ice cream. So iced foods and iced drinks are really nothing new. The ancient Romans and the Greeks both took mountain snow and put honey and wine over them, and Athenaeus describes Greek ice houses to keep it cold. In the island of Kimolos, underground refrigerators are constructed in summer, where the people store jars full of warm water and draw them out again as cold as snow. Well, how about that? Now further east, in China during the Tang Dynasty, they were heating fermented milk with camphor, then letting it cool and pouring it over ice. And in 4th century Japan, Emperor Nintoku declared June 1st to be National Ice Day, though he was using it mostly to chill his sake. But none of these would really be considered ice cream like today. The fermented milk is probably the closest thing. Now the next real step in ice cream's evolution, which actually didn't involve cream, took place in 11th century Arabia and Persia. They made something called sharbat, or serbet, and we get a detailed description of it from Sir Thomas Herbert on his travels to Persia in the 1620s. Their liquor is sometimes fair water, sugar, rose water, and juice of lemons mixed, and sugar confected with citrons, violets, or other sweet flowers. And for the more delicacy, sometimes a mixture of amber. This we call sherbet. That liquid was then poured over crushed ice or snow, much like a modern snow cone. And that is probably actually what finally made its way to medieval Italy. Now we don't know who actually brought it to Italy, though it was most likely not Marco Polo, even though he almost always gets the credit. But when it did get there, they called it sorbetto, something the French would later call sorbet.
Sorbet? My kids do not eat sorbet. They eat sherbet, and they pronounce it sherbet.
This is exactly what I had an argument with Arcade about this. This exact sentence right here. Ah, fuck! Thank you, Homer. So sorbet is how I would call it as well. But Arcade was like, "What do you mean? It's sherbet." And I was like, "What the fuck do you mean sherbet? Like, who the fuck calls it sherbet?" And he was like, "Well, I've called it sherbet all of my life." And here we can see Homer Simpson being the voice of reason and doing exactly what I was trying to argue, which is like it's like an American hillbilly way of saying it, to call it like sherbet. And Arcade was, "No, that's how I've always heard it being called." And here Homer, the oaf of the family, is lecturing to his family about nobody calls it sorbet, they have to call it sherbet. And so Arcade was playing the role of Homer, and I was the rest of the family. Yeah, there we go. Fucking that. Fuck. Very good. This puts a smile on my face. God, I love being correct. Shit.
And I wish it was ice cream.
But it was the Italians that did some kind of crazy stuff with it. In 1558, Giambattista della Porta described a wine slushy made by chilling diluted wine with ice and saltpeter. Later on, just
It's like pronouncing yogurt. Everyone else says this correctly. Americans say like they're greeting their friend Gert. Or yogurt. How else do you say it? Yogurt? 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 I don't know. And let me find this on Google Translate. Google Translate, tell me how to pronounce yogurt. Admittedly, a lot of my pronunciation is from American English. Let's see here. English. To English.
Yogurt. Yogurt.
Why does it sound like that?
Jogurtti.
Yogurtti. Now there we go. That sounds more like it.
salt. Now, that combination had been used in freezing and preserving foods all over the world for a very long time, but this seems to be the first time, at least in Europe, that it was used to make anything like ice cream. Now, it's also around this time that doctors began to weigh in on the dangers of this cold dessert. Cold food and drink had been taboo since Hippocrates and Galen, for as the Byzantine physician Antimus wrote, "The stomach grows chilled and loses its efficacy." And later, European doctors would take that even further to claim that iced foods and even just putting ice in drinks could lead to blindness, paralysis, or even sudden death.
Oh, shit.
But even the threat of a sub-zero fatality was no match for the deliciousness of this ever-evolving frozen treat. And one such evolution came in 1692 when Antonio Lentini wrote a recipe for what he called milk sorbet, a precursor to gelato. It was flavored with lemon and pumpkin and frozen with snow and salt. And it really only took one more ingredient to make ice cream, and that was eggs. And Europeans had been making egg custards for centuries, though they usually used them in baking or just served them kind of at room temperature. They had names like cream almond and crema catalana, and surely someone making these creams saw what Lentini had done and said, well, if he can freeze that, I can freeze this. And thus was born ice cream. Around this same time, 1686, a Sicilian, Francesco Procopio Cuto, moved to Paris and opened Il Procope, which is believed to be the first Parisian cafe and ice cream parlor. And he kicked off an ice cream or crème glacée craze in France, at least amongst the wealthy, because pretty much all of the ingredients were rather expensive. Ice, sugar, plus fancy flavorings like chocolate, anise, coffee, vanilla, and some weird ones like artichoke, avocado, asparagus, and foie gras. There's even one recipe that calls for hartshorn, which is like shavings or gratings from the antlers of a stag.
Okay. Before he says anything, I bet that's like a male virility thing. There's definitely like some kind of magic about getting like a big dick or something like that from this.
And it gave off kind of an ammonia scent. It was actually used later on in smelling salts, but they were putting it in ice cream. And just like you might add texture today with sprinkles or chopped nuts, they would add texture to their ice cream in the form of dried rye breadcrumbs, which actually, kind of weird sounding, but I bet it's pretty good. So it's not that weird that our recipe...
I can't really test that. I can't eat rye bread anymore, which is very sad.
...today uses Parmesan cheese, especially when you consider that one of the early names in France for ice cream was cheese, fromage glacé. Not because it was actually made with cheese, but because it would be frozen in molds, the same molds that were used to mold cheese. And I'm sure this is not the case, but I do kind of wonder, was the first person who added cheese to ice cream just making an error in translation? All right, then it says we just add a bit of cheese. Cheese, did you say? That doesn't seem right. says right here, fromage. I took 2 semesters of French, so don't question me. Just add the cheese and let me go on with my work. Frederick Nutt, the author of our recipe today, also mentions using molds to freeze the ice cream, though by the time he's writing, it wouldn't have been big cheese molds, but smaller molds that were usually in the shape of people or animals or foods like mushrooms or pineapples. Now you may remember I did a bit of a deep dive on The Art of Cookery Made Plain and Easy by Hannah Glass in the episode on everlasting syllabub. And in it I read some passages that kind of sounded like she was talking down to her audience. And many people said, oh, she wasn't, it was tongue-in-cheek, and I'm okay with that. But then I read her ice cream recipe and I got a question. Does she kind of think her readers are maybe a little dumb? Take 2 pewter basins. These things are made at the pewterers.
Do I look like an idiot?
No.
And recently, a viewer sent me an early edition of that book. I think it's from the 1760s. I'm not even going to open it because it's so delicate. I want to have it rebound. It's probably the last time I'll ever touch it with my bare hands. But it's like having a bit of history here in the house. It's just overwhelming. So thank you so much to Shannon for entrusting me with this piece of art, because that's really what it is. So ice cream had become quite popular now in England, but were they eating it in the colonies? Well, as early as 1700,
I like how they had their pinkies out. That's how real fancy people do it.
Do have some evidence that it was being enjoyed. But what really made it take off over here were our presidents. While serving as ambassador to France in the 1780s, Thomas Jefferson became enamored with ice cream, and when he returned to Monticello, he did so with a handwritten recipe for French vanilla ice cream. At the same time, George Washington was falling in love with the confection, as he was known to own 2 pewter ice cream pots, which I assume were made at the pewterers. He also had a 306-piece serving set just for ice cream. And in the summer of 1790 in New York City, he spent $200 on ice cream. That's around $5,000 in today's money, which coincidentally is the exact amount that I've set aside for my ice.
Now, to be fair, when I was in Tenerife, I think, when I was younger, there was this ice cream shop in there, like right next to our hotel, which was so fucking good. It was so goddamn good. I went there like 3 times every day until they started recognizing me, because I fucking loved their ice cream so. It was so good. It was like, usually when you have like cream ice cream, it's kind of like thick and it has like this kind of heavy feel to it. But their ice cream was like, it felt like it melts on your tongue and it feels like light. So you don't even need to like bite into it, because it melts as soon as it's on your tongue. And you just like, it just feels like it's vanishing to like nowhere when you eat it, and it's like the perfect level of sweetness and the perfect level of like, whoa, so good.
Ice cream budget this summer. Then on Inauguration Day in 1813, James Madison, notoriously shy, had requested that First Lady Dolly Madison, avid partier, arrange a small gathering. So of course she invited 400 people over to the White House to enjoy what would be the first inaugural ice cream social. Then in 1829, when 20,000 of Andrew Jackson's supporters crowded into the White House to celebrate his inauguration, they tracked in mud and destroyed the furniture and had to be coaxed outside with ice cream and whiskey, which is a wonderful combination. Though despite the claim that ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream, it did have its detractors. Why needs any man be rich? Why must he have horses, fine garments, handsome apartments? Only for want of thought. We dare not trust our wit for making our house pleasant to our friend, and so we buy ice creams. That was the great Ralph Waldo Emerson, who I'm guessing did not get invited to a lot of parties. And he probably wasn't too thrilled with the idea that ice cream was about to get democratized. In 1843, Nancy Johnson of Philadelphia patented a mechanical ice cream machine that sped up the process of making ice cream so much that it really ushered in the commercial ice cream industry. Why she doesn't have a national holiday or a place on Mount Rushmore, perhaps, I do not know, because the woman should be a national hero. Also, what's cool is Even though mine is electric and hers wasn't, the general idea of how it works is pretty much unchanged. And I don't know if it's her machine exactly that made it into the 1850 edition of Goody's Lady's Book, edited by abolitionist Sarah Josepha Hale of Mary Had a Little Lamb fame, but I love the sentiment, and so I'm going to read it anyway. We do not think that we can do our lady readers a greater service than introducing to their notice a recent valuable invention in the shape of an ice cream freezer and beater. Ice cream has now become one of the necessary luxuries of life. A party or a social entertainment could hardly be thought of without this indispensable requisition. Other delicacies might be omitted by substituting other articles in their stead, but nothing can supply the place of ice cream.
So powerful.
Here, take that, Ralph Waldo Emerson. Now, while Ms. Johnson was bringing ice cream to the masses on a large scale, the Hokey Pokey men, not to be confused with the Hokey Pokemon, were bringing ice cream to the masses on a small scale. Through the 19th century, Italian immigrants, many of the same saints that brought us pizza, traveled to places like the US, Germany,
God bless them. God bless those people. I fucking love pizza.
and Scotland, and with them they brought their own form of ice cream, gelato, made with milk instead of cream. They would sell it on the streets from little carts and were called Hokey Pokey men because of what they shouted. Some variant of either gelati, ecco un poco, which meant ice cream, here's a little, or even closer to Hokey Pokey, o che poco, meaning oh so little, probably referring to the price because it was dirt cheap. Here's the stuff to make you jump, Hokey Pokey penny a lump, Hokey Pokey sweet and cold, for a penny, new or old. In the 1897 Old London Street Cries, Andrew Tour wrote that, for obvious reasons, spoons are not lent. The soft and half-frozen delicacy is consumed by the combined aid of tongue and fingers. He says that it could also be frozen hard as a brick and then wrapped in paper so you could take it to go, something that clearly was not happening everywhere because around the same time in New York City it was often sold by the lick. Outside, on the streets of New York, you would get a cup of ice cream and then you would lick the ice cream out and hand the cup back, get another scoop in to go to the next customer. This was clearly before New York started their restaurant health board rating system. Unfortunately for the Hokey Pokey men, and probably fortunately for their customers, new refrigeration technologies and the invention of the soda fountain ushered in the age of the ice cream parlor and the drugstore soda jerk.
Hot dog!
That was George Bailey from It's a Wonderful Life, who was a soda jerk, and if you've never seen that movie, it's one of my favorites, and you should watch it. It's a Christmas movie, but you should watch it anytime. It's just so good. Anyway, these pharmacy ice cream shops became a crucible for some real ice cream ingenuity. Banana splits, parfaits, and the classic ice cream sundae. Now several cities...
I don't think I've ever had a parfait in my life. I would really like to have one. Maybe when I go to Japan, if I manage to go this year, I will get myself a parfait. Because Japanese people fucking love parfaits.
Claim to have originated the ice cream sundae, and I will not weigh in on which one is correct, though Ithaca, New York is the first to provide some written evidence from 1892. But regardless of where you go, the story tends to pretty much be the same. Supposedly, due to the blue laws of America at the time, and still in some parts of America today, selling ice cream sodas on the Sabbath was seen as sinful. So some smart-aleck soda jerk decided to circumvent the statute by substituting soda with syrups and whipped cream and then bedighting them with a cherry. Thus, the cherry sundae. These ice cream parlors remained hangouts mostly for kids and teens. As the Chicago Tribune put it, only little girls and dudes drink ice cream and soda. That is, until the 1920s, when Prohibition made alcohol illegal. When all the saloons closed, then the pharmacy got hoppin'. Ice cream became cool with pretty much everyone, as it should be, and it allowed nimble brewers like Anheuser-Busch and Yuengling to stay in business by switching their business model from making beer to making ice cream.
Oh.
And then it switched back in the 30s.
No.
Now from there, the story of ice cream really blows up because it just takes over the world and becomes popular absolutely everywhere. And so I'm actually going to leave it there for today because I can't do the rest of its history, the 20th century, real justice until maybe I do another form of ice cream sometime in the future. Though I will put a link to a wonderful book on ice cream in the description. It's by Laura B. Wise, and it's really, really interesting. So you can read that if you just can't wait. And speaking of not waiting, I'm not waiting any longer, to try this Parmesan ice cream.
It's time.
So once it's churned and frozen, then it's ready. Now you can eat it right now. It's going to be a little bit more like soft serve, but they would have eaten it like that at the time. Though he's not specific, and he does mention freezing it in molds, which would make it quite hard. So you can put it into the freezer for a few hours to kind of replicate that. It's probably going to be more like ice cream that you would get at the store today. But for me, I can't wait, so I'm eating it now. And here we are, 18th century Parmesan cheese ice cream. It is getting melty pretty fast, which actually matches a lot of the descriptions of 18th century ice cream, so that works. I can't tell if I smell the cheese or not. I really was worried that it was going to be like overpoweringly smelly, but let's give it a try. In the words of Montgomery Burns, I know what I hate, and I don't hate this.
Oh.
In fact, it's really good. One second. It's so smooth and creamy and sweet, and the Parmesan is there, but it's not. If I didn't know it was Parmesan, I don't know that I would know that it was Parmesan. It's like this interesting savory flavor, but it doesn't taste like cheese, and it's not like overly salty or anything. This actually may be my favorite thing that I've ever made on the channel.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm going to eat the entire thing that I've made, not in one sitting. But I mean, ice cream stays. It's delicious. This is very, very good. This is very, very good.
Delicious.
One of my favorite comedians, Lou Costello, his dying words were, "That was the best ice cream soda I ever tasted." And I don't know that this is the best ice cream I've ever tasted, but it's up there. I mean, I'm still going to go with chocolate and peanut butter, but this is
Chocolate,
really
no, chocolate mint. All respect lost for this cooking man.
good. Like, shockingly good. Anyway, you should definitely make it. It's not that hard. So make sure to follow me on Instagram and click the link in the description for your free trial of Wondrium.
Yeah.
And I will see you next time on Tasting History.
That was pretty interesting. Very good. Cookie dough. I can't eat cookie dough. So that's off limits for me. Okay, let's do this one on stream, and then I'll probably do the other two off stream. And then we will color these on Saturday. Tomorrow is waifu judgment. So send me your waifus if you're still in here and you haven't yet. If there are any people in here who would love to share their waifus to me, and even if you don't love to share your waifus to me, you should. But let's create this powerful giraffe first. There's plenty of weird historical foods. Yeah, that actually looked pretty good, to be honest. That was a good video. Let's make this grass. Yeah. That was interesting. It also made me hungry. I haven't had anything like snackable in a long time. And I like my snacks. That's why I was trying to make popcorn last night. And that's why I burned it. So, you know. At least the attempt was there. An attempt was certainly made. Yes, indeed. It wasn't a particularly successful attempt, but it was an attempt. So, what is you guys' favorite ice cream flavor? Mine is mint chocolate. The correct answer, by the way. I should have just bought some potato chips. That would have made it a lot easier. There would have been no sad times with popcorn. I should probably get my testing copies of my books like next or the week after. How much time do I have still? Next or the week after? Yeah, that should be still plenty. And then I'll get the finished books like a week or two later. So I'll definitely have enough time to get them by the event. Very cool. I do hope I won't get cancelled on Twitter for them. That would be very nice. Fruit sorbet. I don't think I haven't really had a lot of sorbets in my life. I've had a few. Shit. Got something in my throat. But I do enjoy sorbets as well. Raspberry. Don't see that very often. At least in like cream ice cream. Popsicles, yeah, but not so much in cream. It's like a rare thing. I generally like a lot of ice cream flavors. I like pear a lot, and I actually really enjoy licorice as well. Licorice ice cream is so good. Especially when the licorice has sort of like frozen properly, and it becomes like these slabs of just sugary goodness, and then you just get like a big ass slab of it and you bite into it with the ice cream. God, it's so good. So fucking good. I can even deal with salmiak to an extent in ice cream. Salt licorice ice cream. I might have actually. Oh, you mean salmiakki? As salt licorice? Yeah, yeah. You can just call it salmiakki. Salmiakki is the international word for it as well. Because it's a Finnish exclusive, kind of like how sauna is sauna. Salmiakki is the same. Actually, the legs should be... Wait, should they? I don't know. It'd be really nice if I had a slightly longer screen on my drawing tablet. It would be easier to do these, like, big pulls. But yes, I have had salmiakki ice cream. Yes, it can be pretty good if the salmiakki isn't like super overpowering. And I really like like my favorite popsicle to have in summer is the Assa Mix ice cream that is shaped like a spade, and then it has like the club and whatever, the club and spade and maybe another club probably. Oh, that's a flower. And then it has the stick. And it's half like pear and half orange from here. And then there's salmiakki in these little slots. I really like it. It's really good. The salmiakki being like slightly salty works really well, especially like when it's really hot. Because it gives you the salt, and then you get the sugar, and then you get the cold, and then you get the sweet, and then you get the salty. It's very good. Right? Right? It's really good, Sorrow. I really like it as well. It's like the perfect ice cream for summer. So good. God damn it, arcade. You can bet your sweet ass I'm not eating that with you, by the way. You can have that all to yourself. And when it turns out to be completely disgusting, like, you better not waste food and just let it sit in the fucking freezer forever. You just eat it. And then whatever stomach flus you get from it, you take responsibility for them like a man. Later. Yes, yes, go sleep, don't worry about it. Tomorrow is waifu day if you want to hang out then. And come check out what we think of your waifus. On Saturday, more giraffe drawings, maybe funny videos, maybe some Primordial Darkness. Might go for a run. So prepare for maybe like disappointed screams of failure or extremely hyped screams of success. Thankfully it'll be frozen, so it should kill. Doesn't freezing just make them sort of hibernate? So when they warm up in your stomach. What time? 9:30. 9:30 finish time. It's gonna be on Bear's channel. I'm gonna put an at everyone on the server for that. So if you want to see us analyzing your waifus, then drop by around those hours. I am getting a slight headache here myself, honestly. I really need to go have something to eat soon. I hate the disgusting smell of burnt popcorn that I'm covered in now. Good thing tomorrow is sauna day. Freezing stuff helps kill most. Okay. Of course I have to come to see it. Okay, very good. I look forward to it. I'm sure Bear would be happy about that too. I don't usually sort of push my community to come watch stuff, but when it's to sort of help a friend, then I will absolutely do it. Especially when I probably get to roast said friend in the process. Because the roasting isn't going to be just directed at the audience. It's also going to be directed at Bear. Down. What a powerful creature. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Take your... go whenever you feel like. It's all good. I'm gonna be ending stream here soon too, so it's all good. I'm just gonna finish this one giraffe. I found like a fun reverse harem webcomic, so I've got stuff to entertain myself with for the rest of the night. Should make the other bang match this one in length. This is a very strange soundtrack, but it's kind of funny. I think it was partially composed by Nobuo Uematsu, the guy who made all the soundtracks to like the most famous Final Fantasy games. Whoop. This would actually probably be more like this. It's like a really fun game to play while watching anime and just doing nothing. It's like a good sort of idle game, I guess. Don't know a lot of people who have ever played it though. I guess it wasn't really popular. Ketchup and ice cream. I can see that. We don't have any ketchup, which is very sad. Maybe tomorrow I'll go by the store and buy some ketchup and potato chips or something to swallow drown my sadness in the potato chips. What a powerful creature. Fearsome. Then let's do this smaller version. Miniature. Then eventually these will be, the line work will be colored. It's, good for colored print material to have colored lines. And in general, to be honest, avoiding completely black and white is generally a good rule of thumb for balancing out colors well in your art. It makes it a lot easier. You can do pretty pictures with just pure white and pure black as well, but it does make it considerably easier to balance it if you use colored lines. And it's all just a matter of subjectivity in the first place anyway, so. And this leg is slightly elevated. It's a very fitting soundtrack to listen to while drawing this stupid shit. Actually, let's draw it like that, so that it gives a more three-dimensional impression. A stupid hairstyle. It's like there's like a toilet cleaning brush on the forehead. Let's make the back of the head bigger though. That. Way too small. Even though the face is like protruding out like kind of funnily, it should still be bigger on the back. It should still be bigger actually. Like so. The back of the head is generally considerably bigger than your face. Something... It's kind of hard to observe because you don't usually measure people for something like that, but it's a pretty important thing to understand. Especially when drawing humans. Even like derpy, stupid looking humans like this, even though they're not humans, they're giraffes. But they have some human anatomical rulings to them. Maybe just a little bit of the other ear would be visible here. Like that. What a stupid picture. Very good. Very good. Okay. This is gonna be where I'm gonna drop it for today, in terms of the streaming. I'm gonna make the remaining giraffe pictures line arts today, but I'm gonna do that off stream. I'm just gonna watch some YouTube drama or something while I draw them. I need to take a small food break. So I'm gonna go do that. I hope you guys have a good one. Thank you very much for joining me today. I had a good time just drawing stupid giraffes. The Necromancer is still my favorite. It's very powerful. Giraffic Jam is pretty good too. You can give this to a loved one as a gift. Or this if you're horny for their neck. Or this if you respect your friend. Or this if you don't. Or this if you want to pick a fight with someone. So it's very good. Okay. Yes, they will be very powerful. Save this. There we go. Okay. Ice cream video was very good too, yes. Yes, it was very informative. But yeah, I'm gonna see you guys again tomorrow in the name of the funny collab. If there are any people in chat who haven't sent me your waifus yet, please do. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the normal, usual scheduled stuff back on Saturday in the name of more giraffes. This time in color. And maybe PSO2, some Primordial Darkness attempts again. And funny videos. So yeah, if you have anything interesting or something you want to share to me, send them in Submit Funny. And yeah, that's about it. I'll go eat something. I'll see you guys later. Bye, y'all.